Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us today here at ASV Collectibles. We got a returning guest here. Roger's in the house from So Much 3D. If you don't know Roger, check out his work. He's on Facebook, Instagram, Artist Station, you name it, he's on it. I'm not supposed to say this, but you in OF, but I'm just keep that to myself. Yeah, so sorry for starting late, as always. Kind of having some internet difficulties here. It's my luck of the month. I've had so much bad stuff happen to me this month, and this is just a cherry on the top for that. But excited for this bishop, man. This custom bishop. I saw this posted a while back. Had a few people had it. A good friend of ours, local collector, he sold it to me. And so this is part of my personal collections. I do have a full list of other new custom pieces that are up for sale. Obviously not my pieces. Local collectors that don't do social media asked me to sell. So I got like another, I don't know, like another 15 to add to the list of sale for those that are interested. But again, we'll get into this. Our good friend Marco Mora will be here in a little bit. He had a family event, and family's important. So it's not a problem for him being tardy, but we're still going to give him shit for it. Especially Roger. Yeah, Roger's good at it. Let me drop over here on the comment section. Let's see who's jumping in. Our boy Michael Reyes is in the house. Thanks for joining, Michael. Knight's in the house. Always a pleasure to have Knight, man. Ledge is in the house. Thanks again, Ledge, for jumping on. We'll see how the night goes. We got a lot to talk about. I know Roger has some stuff going on in his life. He's actually living the life right now. 3 weeks of bliss.
He's referring to the fact that my other half is on vacation. She's the one living her best life. She's literally traveling all around Europe for weeks now. She comes back tomorrow though, so looking forward to that. Me and the puppy are gonna have a nice home warming for her. But thanks for having me on the show. I've been away for a little bit, been busy running around doing a lot of stuff, busy with crazy projects. But I've always been an avid watcher of the show, regardless if I'm not on it. I either watch it almost immediately after you guys produce it or while it's live the following day. And it's always proves to be very entertaining and illuminating and enlightening and in the subject matter of pop culture and statue collecting. So again, thanks for having me on, man.
No, I appreciate it, man. And one of the reasons why I love having you on the show, not only the looks, but there's a lot of brains behind that, people. There's a lot of brains behind this man. Very talented.
That's another reason why I stick around. This is always really good for my ego. And I didn't know I needed this kind of boost until I started doing the show. So, yeah, thanks a lot. Even getting mentioned every now and then when I'm not on the show, I'm like, man, they really do love me. So they love me. They really do. Appreciate it. It's always a blast coming on here.
Thanks, Mr. Alan Kiefer, for jumping in on the show, and Mr. Juan Ortega, a good friend of ours in Salinas. He's a local guy as well. But yeah, I mean, Mr. Roger here, man, the talent's through the roof. Can't wait for some of your other projects to come through. I know you've been working on some stuff, your portfolio and things like that. So if you have anything interesting for us today, we would like to check it out as always. And yeah, let's move on. I know I've been ranting a little bit. I'm trying to burn a little bit of time for Marcos. He said it was gonna be tardy, and I was like, well, I can do just like the sloth on Zootopia and go as slow as I can until you show up. But probably not a good idea.
We'll manage, but I don't know how, but we'll try. Luckily, we've got people keeping us company while we wait.
That's true. That's true. If Mr. Alan Kiefer would like to join, man, send me a message. I'll send you the link. I'd love to have you on the stream. But thank you for watching anyways. Really appreciate you having here. Unfortunately, it's not a female piece, so you're just going to have to...
Expect for him to tune out almost immediately. You should have said that. So
well, it's in the thumbnail. So it's like you can't right? We'll see. If
maybe we'll talk about some statues that happen to be female related. So
sure.
Stick around, maybe. Who knows?
Yeah, we could do that. We'll just see, like Marco said last week, this piece better have some cakes. So let me grab the base for you guys. If you guys have not seen this particular piece.
Yeah, let's find out if he's for the streets or not. So
well, it's Bishop. He's a pimp, right? So he's always in the streets. Yeah. But a question I wanted to ask, actually, let me bring this to you. Our good friends over at Custom Produce had a question. I wasn't able to jump in. and I wanted to answer this question. I'm sure Roger would be interested too. For the collectors out there, what do you guys prefer? Would you like your statues to be more comic based or more hyper realistic or more realistic look to it? So you got to separate the two, right? Comic and realistic. Or do you like to meet in the middle? You want that comic vibe and comic look with the more realistic textures. Personally, for me, I'm in the middle. I like the more comic look with a little more realistic textures to it. But some people are just straight comic, like Bowen style and things like that. And then you got the hyper realistic, like J&D. Roger, what are your thoughts?
That's a really awesome question. And there's no right answer, there's no wrong answer, right? It's all about preference. Me personally, I'm going to approach this subject based off how I like to collect and also how I like to create. And a lot of the draw of seeing some of my favorite characters depicted in real world media in 3D, like here in front of me, it's the idea of what would they be like in real life, right? So seeing a character that, like a Batman or Superman and stuff created with proportions that are more realistic is nice to see, because like I don't know, I like the idea of the context of adding more detail where a lot of times you don't necessarily see in drawing. And then, as a purist, as a comic book collector, well, then I also get drawn to the idea of like, well, I love seeing what's on paper come to life, right? Better late than never. Extra blurry, whatever. It's fine. When I look at you, it looks like I'm looking at a dream state. What's happening? Like, what is this?
Give me a second. Give me a second.
Smear or something, or
it's like it's like he's in his camera's in the shower after he took.
Yeah, it's a little misty or something like that. Like you make mine look like hyper 4K HD. So, but back to what we're talking about. Yeah, it's somewhere in the middle. Like I like the idea of seeing something on comic on the page come to life, right? Uh-huh. And at the same time, it also depends on the character. There are certain characters that are stylistically always drawn with very hyper stylized proportions and stuff, right? So adding a lot of crazy porosity and crazy details in a character like that doesn't always make sense. So in that case, you kind of want it to stay more true to the actual source material. But seeing characters like the X-Men, I'll use those as an example. Even like behind me, you can see like I've got characters that still retain some of the comic book proportions. At the same time, though, they have more realistic textures. They have, you're seeing every single chain link. You're seeing some of the leathery porosity on that on some of the garments and stuff like that, right? Seeing leather cracking, seeing like Mjolnir with a hammer have more hyper detail. I like seeing that because that makes I think the statue value increase more by seeing details that are hand sculpted, right? So there's a fine line. What I don't necessarily like when you go crazy hyper realistic, it almost starts to separate and no longer really relate or really resemble the original source material, right? So you kind of have to have enough of the source material mixed in with some realism. I don't mind, like I said, you see in some pieces like J&D, seeing like Queen Studios pieces, those have like really hyper realistic with pores and a lot of like really cool, I love using this word, tertiary details and stuff. And that's awesome. But then there's also, do I prefer having the movie version of it, right? Because there's also a lot of characters that now have the movie version of a character. Like, do I want a comic book related created character, or do I want the movie version? That's another argument or a preference as well too, right? It really just depends. Like that looks awesome. Like seeing details like that, you're not always going to see details like that drawn in, but we have that here in this video. So that's almost like what if let's look at it from a percentage standpoint. If I have something that is 50% based off the comic, do I want to add an extra 20, 30% of realism to it, right? Going 100% hyper realistic. I don't know. I think it's unnecessary for the characters that we collect and the characters we see from comic books. This is, I think, that nice level of detail that still can come off the page and yet still has a comic book vibe to it. Still retains, what we like and what we originally started falling in love with when we started collecting comic books, right? or from the movies or from the cartoons, whatever is your segue into pop culture. So those are my 2 cents on it. I guess it's a loaded question because, like I said, a lot of it's based off preference to the collector. There's luckily for collectors like myself too, there's an abundant amount of reference and an abundant amount of content out there to decide which one you want to collect. Right? There's more cartoony versions of characters that I see. Like obviously Marvel Rivals is a good example of like how those are proportions that are even more stylized than what comes off the page. So again, there's a lot of representation out there, I think, for people to collect, which is the best part. It's not like there's only one version and one type of this that is the right collectible, the right version. It's really up to the preference of the collector. Me personally, like I said, I like to add a little bit more realism to add more details to what is already kind of comic book to begin with. Like I'll still keep the comic book proportions of a character, but then I'll go ahead and add more hair, more finite hair detail, more skin detail.
Do you feel like that's the same for, let's say, I get what you're saying in terms of some things, but would that be the same for, let's say, J&D Guts, right? It's more a realistic take, and it actually does look like the character. I think they pulled that portrait off really well. So that's the if you're gonna do that, then you still got, because obviously the characters, like that's a really great example. Oh man, let's look at this. Let's look at this real quick. Yeah. So great example, right? Look at the crazy hyper details on the boots, the textures on the boots, that little hexagonal shape, the straps. But then we have like really larger looking dents and chinks in the armor. We've got that texture on the black part of his uniform on the inner part of the thighs. That's texture that you normally wouldn't see. Then we also have like chunkier details like the arm vein, the hair, what's the application of what looks like hair arm, right? Or arm hair, sorry. You've got strap details. You've got details on this pack here, right? There's like an extra level of detail to add, not only more realism, but there's the cake that Marcos has been. Cakes for Marcos right there, Marcos boy.
Yeah, baby. Am I? Can you guys hear me? And I'm not blurring shit or what?
No, you're good.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good.
I just gotta get on my hot spot. No, this looks good so far though.
Yeah,
it has a very XM paint job on the blue areas.
So the one thing I do, the cool thing about having a lot of details like that and actually physical texture details, a lot of those are really cool spots for the paint to sink in and like add and make those pop a little bit more. Like stop right there just for a second and look at the boots. See where they're stitching and see where like there's texture on the boots. Putting a dark orange and letting that sink into the crevices and stuff makes those details like pop out a little bit more, and then painting over another coat with like yellows and bringing it more of that to the surface. Those are really cool techniques, and that's where adding details adds benefit, I think, to the character.
Yeah, I think you're right about that, and I agree with what you said. Based off what I'm looking at here, I'm loving it. Like everything that I'm seeing here, I am freaking loving all of it. I think they did the hair on the arms actually very, very well.
Yeah.
It works, but this is probably by far the best I've seen so far. Yeah, we'll get to all that stuff once I look at it. But yeah, you nailed it right there in terms with the stitching and things, and the different details like on the boots. I don't know if you guys noticed like the honeycomb shape textures. Roger did mention the stitching, and the stitching is so small, but they were able to get it just right. And just some of the battle damage that he's got on his elbow pads, knee pads, even the back of the shoe here or the back of the boots got some good scuffing on it and that dirt. So it really tells a story that the piece is in action and he's going through battle. So that's very, very good. I'm not the biggest fan of Sentinel base, but I think this is little is more. I'm kind of happy with this. That's what it reminds me of. It's either a Sentinel.
Well, it also has like Danger Room kind of vibes.
Right, right. Yeah, it has some purple here, and that's why I'm assuming Sentinel, but I could be wrong. And it does give you Danger Room vibes, so I'm okay with that because it's like I said, little is more. Sometimes when you go too extravagant with the Sentinel pieces, it takes away from the character, and this does not take away from the character. So I'll get into details with that. If you guys want me to zoom in more from the chat, let me know. Thanks, Ledge. Appreciate it. Let's see. I don't know if Marcos has seen this stuff. Marcos, I couldn't change it out of cursive, so you're just gonna have to read it off the side. Sideshow. Ledge says, yeah, Bishop looks good. The sideshow version was way too black skin for me. I prefer this skin.
I'm not getting near that comment.
Yeah, I mean, remember where there is a multiverse. I don't know what version they used, but I like to think my Bishop's the one.
I'm gonna do my Jerry Seinfeld.
I'm gonna leave this stream real quick. I'm playing. Not getting canceled today. I'm kidding.
Yeah, no. I need to be here tomorrow. Not getting canceled tonight.
No. Honestly, I think that's a valid opinion of his because we're very hypercritical about certain paint jobs on skin colors. So if he likes the skin color on this Bishop better than the other one, that's fair. It's like when I unbox Storm and everybody's like, well, she's kind of too orange. And then, oh, well, this black color.
Right.
So it's a valid opinion. So I'm not.
I was giving him shit like I didn't mean that for real. I know he didn't mean it.
We know you did. We know you did.
Yeah,
okay.
But I am going to take a screenshot of that comment and cancel.
Yeah. Let me blow it up.
Oh, snap.
Okay.
Done. What's his IP address? Let's send that out there. Let's put that so everybody can see it.
Let me use my hacking skills to find out who he really is. Google Earth Ledge's house so we can get the
also that what? It's a trap. Don't answer that. Don't reply to that because that also might not be. It's a bot. We don't know.
Yeah, it's a bot.
Have you addressed the chat though? Yeah, like with people who joined.
Yeah, I did. We got Mr. Legend Lane, not Lane.
We're all in. We're all in the show. You're late. You're late.
Hey, dude, I'm sorry. I think
we already rolled the credits. We did everything and stuff, dude. We're in bonus time now.
The show starts. I get on. That's when the show starts.
We're in bonus time. Right? So no, Marcos. Question for you. First off, what you drinking? Because I got my drink here. So.
Oh yeah, I got whiskey. First time I'm trying. It's like a Scotch whiskey, famous Bruce. I don't know. It had a nice little bird on it, so tried it out.
Hey, Mike, thanks for joining. Mike's in the house. Appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Like I said, we'll get further into this, and if there's people that jumping in later, I can bring the camera, zoom in. We can take a better look at it. I will be placing them there. I got empty slots now, so I'll be putting them back there. Hopefully, Professor X comes soon too. I place them in there as well. But Marcos, so. Because I got my rum and coke over here in my thermo. But what is your opinion on it? Because I know you got the J&D Berserk on pre-order. And so, but you do have like the Detective 1000, which is very comic book, right? Mm-hmm. So where's your preference on that? Is there a preference?
It just depends. Roger's kind of alluded into it. If it's like a movie character, like obviously I would like more realism. That does not mean like it has to be rooted hair, silicone skin, or glass eyes. Like I always say that Paul Atreides from Prime 1 is the best likeness I've seen on a piece so far. So, and that's all sculpted. So it can be done. But with comic book characters, I like it to look like a comic book, piece. Like that's what I like. Also, like a good piece would be like an animated piece, like the Batman animated piece from LBS. I want that to look like the show, like the animated, what's called Paul Dini and oh my gosh, I'm blanking out of the artist name. My gosh, Tim. Oh man, I'm horrible. I love this guy to death because I love all his animated series. But I like the animated people to look animated. The only reason why I do like the Guts J&D, first off, the quality is really high quality. Obviously, the silicone skin. There's like marks. There's like scratches on him. There's blood things. His wraps around his body look great. The armor looks really good. It kind of looks like a medieval armor, not just simple, berserker armor, all black. And
the cool thing is about that one, like on the portrait specifically, it's so accurate to the anime, but it still has like, even though it's got porosity, you 100% know who it is, right? It hasn't deviated too far away from it and tried to make it realistic proportions in the face. It still got it.
Yeah, and also there's an anime that you can make realistic people in. It's Berserk. Like Berserk has it's like a mid what's it called? I'm trying to think of a word, like medieval time type fantasy. Like I think of those characters as real people. Like One Piece I love, But I know that's a completely different universe. Like it's like legit anime. Like, I think of like another anime that's like could be like realistic stuff would be like Monster. I don't know if you guys ever seen that, but like Monster, like
Monster.
if J&D ever did Monster, like I would understand why. Like, you know, it looked really good with Tenma and all of them, or like Slam Dunk because they're all high school basketball players. Oh man, JD, they did Slam Dunk. That'd be dope, dude. But yeah. So like, there's animes that you can legit do like more realistic aspects of the characters, and I think that Guts Berserk kind of proved that. But it's just so high quality with how they did it, and I had that on order, so you know. I loved it, and I'm a J&D hater. The hate's starting to go away because like the past 10 things they've come out with have been fucking good. My whole thing was with J&D in the past, like the first like 10 to 15 pieces that came out, they all fucking sucked. But every J&D like loyalist, every J&D loyalist said it was good. I'm like, am I looking at the same thing you're paying? I felt like it was them trying to justify their purchase for $30,000, you know. But the past, like I said, the past 10 things I've seen in hand have been really good. Like Ledge said it right here. Yeah, J&D has stepped it up. I think they 100% have stepped it up. So, like, I think it's worth it for the price you're paying now. But like back then, like that Catwoman, the Selena Kyle from Dark Knight Rises was horrible. The Harley, the Harley J&D portrait. I'm talking about portraits mainly. The Harley J&D portrait was horrible to me. Her lips are too big. And then Selena Kyle, her eyes are droopy in that Dark Knight Rises one. The Joker was bad. You know, like I can just name up a bunch of them which were not good. The Henry Cavill, the Superman, not good portrait wise. Damn, like I said, I just keep going and going. I hate the Pattinson one. He looks like Jim Carrey from that fucking stupid movie. The number like 72, whatever it's called. So like a lot of their pieces.
The Robert Pattinson Batman, the J&D one, the 1/3 scale.
Yeah, I'm talking about the portraits, like without the mask. Like the mask looks fine. I think the portrait doesn't look like him at all. Like it just doesn't. Like it's like 85%. And with J&D, with the price, it has to be like for me at least.
If it's going to be that expensive, it better be 1,000%. It
has to be 95% and above. So that Christopher Reeves that came out 95% and above for 100%. Like you know, in hand.
Yeah. What'd you think of the Wonder Woman? Gal Gadot was 1/3 scale.
That was the first one. I was like, this is pretty good. You know, that was the first one. But there's still issues with it. Like they did. Two factories came out. It came out that two factories did the paint job on the bodies. There's two separate pieces, and there's different colors. So that was a big issue for them too. Yeah,
you know what? Like I'm bringing because I'm going through their stuff like right now. 1/3 scale, $5,500. Hair looks incredible. Again, we're looking at like the prototype, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hair looks great, but I do see, like, I don't know if it's the makeup or it's something like that around the face and the head. It's not like 100% exactly. Like I said, if you're going to get a 1/3 scale, movie version of a character, then it's got to be like.
Dude, oh my bad. And first off, I think that Aragorn they did the prototype is one of the worst prototypes I've seen ever. Like. Portrait wise,
wow,
the suit looks really good. If you want to, I can bring it up. I really think this piece is horrible.
What do you think about the Batman Returns Catwoman, the one that's got the two Selenas, that's got the one in her like office clothes, and the one that's got her walking?
Once I'm done with the unboxing, then we can bring this stuff up if there's.
Yeah, you're right.
Images. Right now it's just a hand with his absorbed energy here, and then
that was cool.
So yeah, so you get 2 arm swap outs. Looks like 3 portraits. I have 4 here. He told me they sent an extra portrait, so I'm not sure what the deal is with that. But it looks like I got an extra arm, not an extra.
The vibrancy on the powers on the hands and the translucency on the material make it look like it's almost like lit up. It almost looks like it's a light up feature. It looks so cool.
Let me put this one on. It's kind of.
I made a mistake in my purchase. I didn't know it was Scotch whiskey. I thought it was like Irish whiskey. Oh, it's strong. Right. Dude. It's strong.
Dude, guess what? Marcos becomes a man tonight. Let's watch.
I'm still trying to get my pubic hair, man. It still has not.
I was about to. We're gonna watch his nuts drop literally, like as we're watching this show. So
my voice goes down.
Stay tuned, everybody. He won't sound like this by the end of the show.
So I'm going to show one of the portraits. There's still some more arm swap outs, but it looks similar to that one. I don't know if it's on the other side.
Yep.
Where you can hold 2 powers. So let's do a portrait because I'm tired of seeing them when I head. And so we'll do this one. I think I like this one the most, maybe because we're both bald, but I don't know.
Yeah. What's you say? Yeah.
I hope he doesn't scream
you hear
like
it, right?
that.
Every time you put him on, I want you to hear that. Yeah.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
Get on there. All right. Let's go ahead. Perfect. So let me keep going. I have to play around with the lighting here because it's sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. So I can brighten it up just a bit.
I'll be right back, boys.
And we'll turn it on like that. Yeah, Marco's not happy with his drink. That's that. He says that. He's not happy.
He's literally transforming into a man. You have to take a break.
Yeah. There are scarves to this, so let me kind of dig in here a little bit. But
I was wondering what was missing. Like that you're right. Like the scarf, the red's got a scarf.
I knowingly bought this piece. There were some slight breaks on the tip of one of the scarves, but there's 2 scarves, so I'm okay with that. And I got a good friend, Mr. Jeffrey Davila, that if I send this, I'm sure he could fix it to its original look. But I'm gonna bring up this scarf first. Like I said, the tip's damaged, and I'll show you what it looked like prior. Let me.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So if you see the tips right there, they're broken.
Yeah.
Let me get a little closer, right there.
Oh, that's so unfortunate. Those little bitty pieces.
Yeah, but they look like this tip right here.
So they got those little tassels like that.
Yeah, it's supposed to look like a little tassel, and that's probably why it broke. From what I'm told, this was a problem with almost every piece that was shipped.
I was gonna say that looks like a real nightmare to ship if it's got those like tassels, those real thin pieces.
Yeah, I like the shape.
Cool.
I like the texturing and color on it. I think it's cool.
Yeah,
looks really good. I like
that
attention to detail. So I don't know if those tassels were black like this one is, or if it's red. Like I'm assuming it's red like this other one. So let me go ahead and place this, and then I can place. And I'm just going to make an assumption on how it's placed here, like that. And there you go. So now you kind of got his scarf. Play with the lighting here a little bit. So now you play with the scarf a little bit like that. Yeah. And then there's one more arm, 3 more portraits. I think this is the one I like the most. Let me grab the other scarf as well, just to kind of get the scarf thing out of the way. But there's more than 3.
Nice.
And this is the part of the unboxing that we never know, we never see. Because
surprise. Yeah.
Surprise. So I guess there's 3 sizes of scarf. So maybe this is the longest one. Then you get.
That's interesting. Of all the things to kind of have like multiple variants of, like the scarf.
Well, the scarf portrait. So I'm assuming each portrait has a variant of a different scarf.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
Not quite sure. So I'll set that down.
That's the sideshow has the same thing too. It's got for the 2 heads, the 2 scarves I think fit differently for the head. Yeah, because like one of the heads is the bald version like this, and the other one has like the mullet. So the one with the mullet sits differently on the scarf. So it's got a different scarf.
Yeah, so as you can see, this is like the medium scarf here.
Gotcha.
It's a smaller scarf.
Oh man. Okay, so those little thin pieces like that, crazy. I would feel like that's a nightmare to print, and like think about the mold they had to make for that, and then print and then ship. Yeah, like that's crazy.
So luckily it was just those 2 little pieces, which I'm okay with. I can survive. But that doesn't mean I'll use this scarf. It just really depends on the vibe with the portraits and the scarf. So I could just use a short one. I could use I don't know. Depends on which one's going back in the box. I do kind of like the long one, but I'll just kind of play and test on how I'm going to put it together. And then let me grab this other arm. Let's see. Yeah, so I guess you could do both arms with the hand and the powers.
Yeah, supercharging up. That's cool.
Yeah, or the guns, or one in each. So I kind of like that choice that they gave.
Yeah, it's neat.
Yeah, which is fairly cool. Let me get a little bit closer here. So you don't see too much of that glow on here with the light up close, but far away, you're right. It does give you like the impression it's lit.
Yeah, it looks. I really like that. Like I would have thought it is just because of how well it's painted and the translucency and the material.
Let's get. And these. Oh man, it's kind of.
Yeah, you know, Walton, you're right. I was thinking the same thing too. Like the guns and the other ones. I just watched an unboxing of the sideshow one, and yeah, I like these guns more. Like I almost want the guns for my warriors from the future to be big and massive, like Liefeld style. Like you look at Cable. Cable's never has a gun that isn't as big as his torso, right? Like it's just massive, right? So I kind of seeing that here with this one's pretty awesome.
I personally I like the idea where you can swap out guns with the hands. I don't see it. Personally, I don't see anybody using these two like this with no gun. Bishop's got to have a gun.
At least one gun, yeah.
Yeah, at least one gun. So I think I'd pick a gun on one side and put the other energy off to another side, and just kind of display them like that, and then just really picking the portrait I like. Now, like I made that comment earlier, I'm assuming each portrait would come with a scarf because some of the pieces have really long hair. So I don't think it'll work for the long one. Maybe it'll work for the short one. So I got to play around with it. Let's walk
it off, G.I. Joe. I'm looking at Walton's comment. Walk it off, G.I. Joe. He's saying those other guns from the sideshow one look like they belong on a G.I. Joe. The G.I. Joe toy.
So here's kind of like the mullet, the long hair kind of look.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
The only thing I'm saying is the only thing I'm kind of concerned is just the way they did the dreads.
Dude, you read my mind. That's like right now, right off the bat. I really do feel like there's a missed opportunity on the paint application for not only the dreads, but the beard. Look at the goatee. Like the goatee just has a real like flat painted straight line edge. Like there's not they didn't really work it in that well at all. This looks like a very like flat black paint application.
I can't use this portrait with the large scarf.
Okay, so there you go. It is one head per scarf.
Well, there's 4 heads. Yeah, 4. Okay, but he did say something about sending me an extra portrait, so I'm not quite sure.
Oh wow, okay.
If it was supposed to be 3 or not. I'm trying to figure out how to put the scarf in now. Oh, does it go in front? Oh, maybe it goes in front. Yeah, it goes in front. So
does that fit?
That's not sitting right.
So maybe that scarf does. Oh, wait. Without the scarf, does it fit right or no?
Let's see. Yeah, without the scarf, it sits right.
Okay, so maybe it's the wrong scarf.
Okay,
that goes to the yeah.
Oh yeah, it might be because there's a little indentation there. So probably, yep, there you go. So that is the case. So each portrait has a specific scarf to it. So let's see how the other ones look. I'm not quite sure. Let me brighten that up for you guys. Sorry. Not quite sure about that. How do you guys want me to set it up? You want me to leave a gun on here?
Yeah, give him one gun. Give him one gun.
One gun.
This is fun. I like this. Choose my own adventure. How do I want my?
This is how it works. Well, it's just sometimes a pain to put the gun in there. This arm was a little more challenging. I should pick the other arm. Let me step over here. Get these guns in the way. I think Marco's just decided to log off. He said he'd be right back.
Yeah, I know. The whiskey like is transforming him right now. Like he took one swig and it's like
he's like, nope.
Yeah.
Gosh,
it was too strong for him.
He's like, I thought something else.
Yeah, rookie. Yeah, seriously.
There you go. Okay, so we got that gun.
He's gonna come back. He's gonna have a full beard. He's gonna be like, "Hey, brother, I think this looks fantastic. This looks really good. I love this bishop. This is the best bishop I've ever seen." I like how I'm sorry. I don't know why I turned him into Hulk Hogan, but that's what happened right now.
That's why I said I pity the fool.
That's Mr. T.
Yes, it is. Okay, so he said extra portrait, but they're all different, so I'm not quite understanding what he meant. Interesting. Huh. I'm assuming it was supposed to be 3 ways. Like, hey, I'm sending you an extra portrait. I'm like, was there a DX version I don't know about? But so there's I'll put this one down. There's just like this is more of the 1997 vibe. Let me go ahead and
see that's the old school mullet right there. That's like the first version of Bishop, right?
Right.
Look at those. Look at all that. Just let your soul glow.
This one actually looks better in terms of sculpting with the hair.
Yeah, I think so too.
Honestly, yeah, it looks brushed a little bit.
Yeah. You know what though? Again though, like I really do feel that there could have been a benefit of adding a little bit of highlighting on the hair, as just opposed to just doing a completely just flat black paint job over all the hair without adding a little bit of highlighting or somewhere in there. Because right now it just has like the same texture across the whole thing. So I kind of just feel like that's a little bit of a missed opportunity.
Okay, this one, no scarf. Unless I could put the small one. So let me double check. Get that small one in there.
Yeah, he does have a really like pronounced jaw, like super.
Yeah, no scarf on that. No scarf. So there you go. Yeah, it's very pronounced.
It's one of those examples where like they went really hyper stylized or like more comic booky proportion with the facial structure of him too. Like, is that too far? But then again, like you can ask yourself, like, what version of the comic are we talking about? What version of the artistry are we talking about? Because like we can refer to Jim Lee, we could talk to Joe Mad, right? Like Joe Madeira's version of like a lot of the characters had very more cartoony, dare I say, more anime looking style like proportions with bigger jaw lines, bigger arms. Like they were real stylized, pushed, and it worked for like Age of Apocalypse stuff, right?
Right. I mean, Walton gives a good point. Thanks for joining us. He likes the portrait more. Just he wished the jaw wasn't so pronounced.
That's what we're talking about.
Yeah. So I mean, I agree with them. It is very pronounced, especially on this particular portrait.
Yeah.
And then the last portrait would be this one, where it's a smaller mullet, not as pronounced.
Oh yeah, he's got that stank face.
Yeah, but the features are a lot less. They're not as pronounced as the last one.
Yeah, he's got that Pootie Tang stank face.
Yeah,
remember Pootie Tang?
Yes, I do remember Pootie Tang. But I don't know. I think the hair is a lot better on this one as well. I think the one with the Jerry curls where they missed.
Yeah, I think the one that I think the dreadlocks one. And also like the beard paint on the goatee has a little bit more unevenness, whereas like the one that has I think the one with the dreads, it's too even. And like I said, in my opinion, it's just me. I'm being nitpicky. So if we're critiquing, I'm being a little nitpicky. So
I guess both of these don't need scarf. So the last two don't need scarf.
Hey, thank you, Mike. Thank you so much for saying that.
Yeah. The two of these can't apply to scarf. I tried. This is the smaller scarf, and it just gets in the way. So I can't get that in there. So the other ones won't fit either. I mean, this one has a small indentation in it, so let's see, maybe that'll work. Nope. So the two portraits, the two last portraits can have a scarf, and the other portraits can have either one, I'm guessing, which I find odd. You get 3 scarves.
4 heads, 3 scarves.
Yeah, I mean, but two of the portraits won't fit any of the scarves. So that, to me, that's very interesting that they did that.
We have to look this up online. What's up with that?
Yeah, no shit. It's like, man, what? I mean, like, why do I need this?
Yeah, the last one should have a scarf. It's got to have a scarf that fits. I think there's like all of them should have a scarf, right?
I mean, I would assume so, but how would you place the scarf if both of these hairs are touching the back? You know what I mean? So maybe they could have added a magnet somewhere here, and the scarf just kind of magnetizes it, maybe half of a scarf or something. But these last two won't fit any scarves because they're right up against it.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Which is very odd. But I'm assuming, but the only one that could fit every scarf is the bald head. Yeah, it's just a bald head. Like you can put every scarf in there and not have a problem.
Note to self: you want a good scarf, shave your head.
Thank you.
There you go. All right.
Thank you.
Cool.
So there you have it. I would display him like this. All the other portraits are okay. I would say I'd probably go least favorite. Would probably be this one.
Yeah. The big jaw, big Jerry curl. Yeah.
My second, I would prefer the dreads. I like this portrait better. I like the bald. So the bald one, dreads 2, and then the short mullet 3, and then
mullet.
Yeah. So
what's up, Godlike? Godlike, what's up, man? Jimmy. Jimmy, what's up, man?
What's up, Jimmy?
Hey, congrats on the 25K too, dude. I just noticed that. I was scrolling the other day and I saw that, and it's like I was like sitting here by myself, like yes, dude, yes. And no one was around me, so it's kind of weird, just pumping for Jimmy out of nowhere.
Just out of nowhere. Yeah. It's much like
you know what it is. It's just like seeing other people's success like that too, and seeing him get more traction on that. Love seeing it, man. Stanley, about the pose. Yeah, I've been thinking about it too while I'm looking at it. It's a cool pose. Is it the best pose? Like, I don't know what like when I think about poses when it comes to characters, I always think about what defines like a character. Like, what's a pose I would see a certain character in all the time, right? Or what would be the right pose for a character? Like seeing, like how many times do we see Cyclops? He's got the pose. It's got to be something like this. Like Wolverine, he's got to be crouched and has to be like in an action pose, ready to go, right?
Right.
I like the one thing that I do like about the sideshow one. I do like the portal thing or the time portal thing behind him. That's a cool kind of thing. But I'm not so sure I like that one's pose because it is kind of like tucked in and kind of hidden. Whereas like I like having characters portrayed in a way that I see every bit of them. And if a character's kind of tucked in and like, you know, he's in like the one on actually he's holding the gun kind of down and slouched over. It's a cool action pose, but I almost feel like I want Bishop like, I don't know, more upward, outward, and like maybe, I don't know, projecting his energy or something like that. So I felt like that one has a little bit of a missed opportunity despite it having a good presence and cool footprint. This one here, yeah, I don't know. I like the pose. I like the fact that the swap outs make it feel more like Bishop with having like the energy and stuff like coming off his hands, which kind of validate the pose some more. Like it's a charge up. Like if he's like this, he's like charging up and stuff, and he's got the powers coming up. Then I'm cool with the pose. Now, if he just had guns, he'd look like he just got out of like he was in the shit, and he's just got his guns, and he's just like like totally mad. So yeah, I like the pose. Do I think it's the best pose possible for Bishop? I don't know, but then again, I can't think of right now on the top of my head like what's a defining pose for Bishop, right? A character defining pose. I like it. I'm gonna say yeah. I think it's cool. I think I like this pose. I don't know. Do we like this pose more than the sideshow one?
I do.
Question. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
I think I do. I do.
Yeah. I do like this pose more. The only thing I would say about it that I would change is I think the arm with the power should have been out a little more, not so tucked into his gut. You know, let me turn that in so you guys can see. You see how that's like when you're displaying a piece, and like Roger mentioned, you want to see the whole character and every detail that's there. And when you have something in front of it, you kind of lose that visual. So I think instead of him being like this, he'd be a little more out like this with the other guy. Yeah, just a little bit more, maybe over the thigh or something, just so you can get a better visual there.
A good example of that, what we're talking about is like I know a lot of people have talked about it. I only scrolled through some conversations, but like when it comes to the Cyclops, the new one sideshow, right? The big beam in front of the face and in front of the portrait, right? As cool as that is as an action pose, do people feel a little bit robbed by not being able to see the portrait or seeing a good chunk of like the front of the character? But at the same time, we're seeing a really badass action pose with the beam, like striking the ground and like making it's a kinetic action pose, right? What do you like more? Do you feel robbed by having some of the subject matter occluded or hidden in the front view, right? Because you want to assume every statue has a defining position for you to look at it, right?
Right.
Some pieces look great from a 180. You can put them almost in any pose and they're great. But you want to assume that every statue it's created with the intent of at least having one specific cool like vantage point of view. I think this one here from the front view, I think looks great. I think we're not missing anything. It's about, like, again, it's a nitpicky preference kind of thing, right? Like, what do we like the most? As far as like Bishop as a character, I think this pose is fine. Like, I think it's good. I do think, like I said, I do like this one over the sideshow piece. It would be cool if this one had the portal thing behind it. I don't know. Would that be cooler? Perhaps.
Well, I mean, the only thing I would say with this piece is I would have liked to see a little Easter egg. I'm a big fan about Easter eggs and stuff. So I think maybe a small portal or somebody involved in there somewhere. Just a small Easter egg. Obviously not Deadpool or anything like that because it's not a cable, but something I think just to tie in a little bit.
You know, of course, like you know what? It'd be cool. And then, of course, we're just like spitballing and stuff, just throwing the ideas around, doing a whole like cool nerd thing. You know what would be really cool? Some type of nod to Nimrod, right? Maybe that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Or something from Age of Apocalypse. I don't know, like something from the future. But the more I look at it, the more I'm pretty certain this is a Danger Room scenario. So I don't know if that would be relevant, just because like the floor matches also what some of the other pieces that in Sideshow's done. And other ones that's what the Danger Room floor kind of looks like. It's got like that shattered kind of like blue tile thing. Right. I have a couple of X-Men figures that are in Danger Room scenarios, and they have like that same type of flooring. So yeah, I don't know. Like I said, this is where the nerd comes out, and we're just like, well, you know, it would be awesome. Like I would like it if it had this, and this. But like as a piece, as a standalone piece, I think it looks great. I think there's a lot of really good things going on here. And a lot of the details on the character, I think, make it stand out quite a bit.
Correct. I mean, my opinion for this Bishop, I think I personally would rate him about a 9.5. I feel
no.
Yeah,
you always. I was watching those videos. You do 9.5 a lot. You got to give another one. Give me another one.
Okay. 9.43 or something like that.
That's Marcos. Marcos does that. You can't do that either, dude. That's
in between 9 and 10. Hold on, I'm missing one thing here. I just realized it. Let me go through. I actually missing a few things because we got a little distracted on the chat. So let me get to these other pieces before I jump. And let me verify because I got a couple things here which I have no idea where to go to. So let me.
Oh wow! You know, to the comments in the video, isn't it cool that we do have options to pick from? Right? Like, yeah, we all have our preferences, and we all have like what's the best? Oh, cool! That's a knife.
So this goes right here on his leg. This knife.
Sick.
And that's the knife. And then there's a small piece here. It looks like a piece of a buckle or something. So I got to figure out where that goes right quick. And I think those are the only things that are missing on this particular section.
But yeah, though we're saying to the comments, yeah, I love that we're in a place where there's a lot of representation of the characters we like, and we have options, right? We can choose. You know what? Do I want this one? Do I like this one? You know, to each their own. You're right. The Cyclops. There's reasons for both of those being awesome and badass. So yeah, whichever one you want to go with.
I'm not sure if that was supposed to peg in there or if it broke off or not, but it did peg. So
it does now.
Yeah, it was the handle for the grenade, so it came off. But it did have a peg, so I'm assuming it's just pegged in there. So yeah, but that's pretty much, I believe, leftover that we have here. I don't have anything else. Yeah, I'm good. So yeah, one thing I can appreciate is the base for sure. I do like that they put a lot of attention to detail on the base in terms of the face of the base. A lot of people just put that rock there and they just leave it like that. They put the effort of putting the electrical in the ground.
Yeah, I noticed that too. That's always kind of a nice touch. If you're cutting away from the ground, how are you going to make the ground look interesting without it just being some like
correct
some concrete, something like that. Like when they do cutaways of street pieces and stuff that have like piping or some kind of like sewer joints. I always kind of like that. That's nice. It's a cool little touch.
I think they put a lot of work behind this one, from what I could tell, compared to some other pieces I've seen and unboxed. And the funny thing is, this piece came from the same commissioner that storm, the first storm I did the unboxing with the swirling of the wind and those
Yeah,
rocks and
Okay,
the
I remember
orange
that.
paint skin, which I found strange because when I see this and I look at the storm and I'm like, okay, what happened there between the production on these two? Did they use a different factory for Storm and they use another factory for Bishop?
They use a different artist?
They potentially could have used a different artist. Who knows? But the attention to detail here is very, very good. Like I said, even on the face of the rock, you can see different tones of colors of the rock. A lot of the details in there. Like you mentioned earlier, Roger, the cracks on the base. Oh, there it goes. The cracks on the base have different tones of colors as well. The robot itself, it's got a lot of battle damage, a lot of scuffing on there, 2 tones of metal. The wiring they painted green and red, and they also gave it some very weathered look. A lot of it's very weathered, a lot of battle damage going on with the piece. We talked about the texturing, the stitching, even the gun. It's got the little aim, the little red aim thing. That'd be cool if it lit up, but it does have the dot there, like he's aiming to shoot. The energy, we spoke about that. Like even looking at it this way, it looks like it's lit up, even though it's not. So that's why I gave it such a higher grade than normal, because there's just so much attention to detail, so much battle damage, so much wear. The hairs on the arm, even the anatomy is looking actually fairly good. The way he's flaring, and his lats are just way up there. His back's stretched out. His pouches. And just the coloration, it just looks good. That's why I give it the score, and I give it. I'm extremely happy with this piece in person. I know I saw it when they first announced it, and I love the way it looked. It's not 100% museum like most of my pieces. I mean, my Wolverine's kind of similar. My Logan, sorry. All my other pieces, even Captain America's kind of stiffened, kind of walking forward. So I think this is a great look for him. And also what I noticed is even the folds in the clothing, there's a lot of folds and wrinkles and stuff in the clothing, which I do appreciate that detail in there. But I'm loving this piece, man. This is the way I would display him, which I will display him. It's a gun, power on one arm, which looks like it's falling off. Oh, yeah, that's sliding off early. So I won't display him that way. I'll switch the arms around, but it's.
Is it like a little looser? What is it looser?
Yeah, it's loose and it's not magnetized. It's just a pin. So I'm going to have to swap that out because I don't want that falling when I have it displayed. The gun on that side I took off was in there really tight. So I'll probably switch those over. Let me do that now. So I know I talked a lot and people don't want to hear me. They want to hear your voice. Hey, X-Men Exclusive is in the house, man. I didn't even know you were back, Anthony.
Heck yeah, he's in here.
So let's see. To each is their own. I still prefer the XM Cyclops with the 2 switch outs. Yeah, I do too. I do like that better. I know we were talking about the Sideshow Cyclops, so I'll get into that. But Roger, let me know how you feel about this piece and what scoring would you like to give?
I like it a lot. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. The only knocks that I'm going to give it, for one, no, 8 is very solid. If I had said like a 5 out of 10, like that'd make me a diabolical hater. But like I'm saying 8 out of 10, that's still viable. That still says you should buy this. Like the reason I say 8 out of 10 is I have a couple of like issues with the paint application. I think the overall concept, I think all the pieces are cool. I do think it's a little unfortunate to have like the miscues or not knowing exactly what's up with the heads to scarf kind of thing. That's kind of confusing. Like it giving me options, but the options don't necessarily line up. So I don't know. Maybe that's an issue with how it was produced or how it's being shipped. And I guess, whenever in packaging, there's always like ways of showing the buyer how to put these things together or what's the best way to put it. Maybe it's William's fault. Maybe that maybe there's a human error element here. So that 8 could have an asterisk on it. But the other thing that does, I don't know why I got blurry, but let me just whatever. I think the only thing that does kind of bug me about the paint application is on the skin tones. I do feel like they overemphasize some darkening on the skin, and I think on the blue areas, which reminds me of like early XM pieces that do have a lot of extra darkening, extra ambient occlusion paint work that's done to emphasize muscles. A lot of times for me personally, I like the sculpt to do a lot of the speaking for the model or for the character, and not having to overemphasize by putting too much black in all the crevices. And they did a wonderful job on all the yellow parts and on the boots and all that. But I do kind of feel like they might have gone like one thing that kind of like when you show the backside, unfortunately, when we're looking at the cake, there's so much extra dark in the musculature. There's like a little bit too much.
Too shading.
We just got a black crack, right? That's all we got right there, right? So it's overemphasis of adding too much of the darkening and shadows on the blue part. And the shininess of the skin, like the different texture levels, like the skin shouldn't be as shiny as the clothes. And right now, and like I said, that's how you do your matte painting, how you do your paint application. Some paints have higher gloss, some have less, and some have more of a matte finish. You traditionally would kind of want more of your skin to have a little bit more of a matte finish. Same thing with the hair. If you look at the ones with the hair, they have the same level of high gloss paint as the skin. So there's no difference in textures across one surface to the next. I wouldn't nitpick that if I didn't see that done proper and done well enough on a lot of other statues. So it's kind of, I have other statues and I've seen a lot of examples of how they raise the bar for that. That's one area that the paint application on the new Bishop on Sideshow is different. They do have the matte finish or like less glossy finish on the skin in transition from like the skin to the clothes to the hair. I think there should be a separation there. Otherwise, that's a difference between just saying, I'm just going to apply a high gloss on everything. So that's the reason why I took a couple points off and gave it an 8 out of 10. It's still a solid score.
Well, I'm not sure how I'm going to display this now. This is kind of some bad engineering when looking at it. This hand right here, I'm just going to show everybody. First off, there's no trigger on that gun. Let me switch this over.
I noticed that on the other one too. There's no trigger on where the finger is at.
There's no trigger on the finger.
You bring that up, yeah.
And it looks like the handle's broken. You see that?
Oh, yes.
So like to hang him there, that's a lot of weight.
So there's a rod. I'm assuming there's a metal rod between that. I guess.
No, it's just broken. I'm gonna see what I could do about sticking something in there, maybe some Zap-A-Gap or something, which kind of sucks because now it's gonna be very. The heck, sorry about that. But it's gonna be very challenging to display this arm because the other one slides off, and this arm's broken. So it's gonna kind of suck. I'm gonna have to wait and fix this piece first if I can. And then I can apply it, or I can figure out a way to get this other piece a little tighter in there so it doesn't slide off, which is also going to be challenging because it's not magnetized. So I'm not sure why they didn't want to use magnets and they just did a peg to stick on there that much. Hulk smash. I don't know. I got to see if I could repair it. It feels like it's. I don't know. I'll take a look. It's not a big deal. I'll try to figure out how I can repair that and have it stick. I obviously noticed it. You did Hulk Smash, the one that sold me this piece. He said he sent a video, but maybe I missed it, which is fine. It's not a big deal. Just wanted it to be noted on the live stream for everybody to check out. So it's going to be kind of tough for me to display it. I guess I'm going to drop my score down to like a 9 because when I think about it a little bit more and I'm here, the engineering part of it for the swap outs on the arms is not something I'm used to seeing. It's usually just really solid magnets for hand swap outs and arm swap outs. This is kind of the first time I see a kind of tight peg. Maybe I'm wrong. If anybody else knows any other pieces that have a tight peg instead of a magnet for arm swap outs, let me know. I'd be curious to know if and everybody on the chat, man, you guys are like extreme collectors. So I know all of you got some great pieces out there. So if you have a custom piece that's like that, I'd like to know which piece that would be because I find it very interesting. I like to use very, very strong magnets for my pieces. I haven't had any issues with any of the other ones, so this is the first for me. But other than that, that's kind of how I would display him. And yeah, I'm stoked about the piece. I do love the piece. It's just certain things that I've been noticing. But that happens with almost every piece we get, right? We start noticing certain things that we didn't originally notice in the pictures or the render pictures or even videos people post until you get it in hand and you start looking at it. You're like, oh, okay, that's interesting. I didn't know about that. So, but still love it. But yeah, so Marcos had to leave for a little bit. He had some things going on. He said he'll jump back at the end of the stream.
That whiskey got him, man. It's too strong, man. He couldn't do it. He couldn't take it. It's too much, man. It's too much.
He's like up in smokes where Cheech is squeezing his butt.
Yeah, I ain't never had no shit like that before in my life, man.
He's like, hold it together.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is Bishop here. Quarter scale custom piece. I love it. That's great. I love everything about it.
Yeah, I think that's going to look great. Honestly, I think that looks really well with your collection.
Yeah, I mean, I'll get them up there. I'll get some more pictures. I'll try to fix whatever issues. Like I said, I'm kind of saving this second shelf here for some more X-Men pieces that hopefully will come in. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with some of the other pieces that aren't about X-Men. I do have my Avengers line, but I'm still waiting on Iron Man. I got to figure out which Iron Man piece I would like to have, preferably more comic. Stanley, does it need a light up? I don't think it does, Stanley. This energy ore looks like it's lit up, especially if it's away from the light. There's a little bit of reflection on it. It just automatically looks lit up. So
plus, like even like look with the lighting behind him. Look at how much it's like the translucency is coming through on the pink. Right. It looks pretty good. Like, I mean, would it look kind of cool if his fists were lighting up too? Sure, maybe. Is it needed? I don't think so.
I don't think
I'm for light up features. But so if it had it, obviously I wouldn't be opposed, but I wouldn't say this needs it. I don't know.
No, I don't. I agree with you. I don't think it needs a light up. Honestly, I don't. The only piece I think I have that is a light up is Cyclops from X-Men Studios, and I don't even use it. Everybody else doesn't have a light up, so it's not. I don't feel that it's necessary. If you like light ups, and sure, like we were talking about that Cyclops from Sideshow, and I noticed a lot of their pieces are implementing a lot of big light ups, like their Ghost Rider. Right.
Yeah.
But I want to say that that's a problem because the light up looks better than it does without the light up. And if your light up fails, how do you swap out the battery?
So you're saying like if the piece only looks better with it lit up, you know, like here's I was saying like it looks better lit up than not lit up.
Yeah, I mean you can have a piece that's lit up and not lit up and still look good.
Right. Yeah, you think the Ghost Rider one doesn't look as good?
I don't think it looks as good without lit up. I think the light up really does it, but that's a problem because if your light fails, your bulb fails. What's the recourse? What are you going to do?
So the lighting's too good.
I think the lighting is too good, honestly, because that Cyclops, you see it without the lighting, and it's cool, but the lighting really does something to it. But the other thing, like I mentioned, is that piece. You don't get to see Cyclops because you got this large beam in front of him. So you have to display him sideways or at a certain angle.
Yeah, I was thinking about too, like maybe I'd keep him at like a 3/4 angle. You know what I mean?
Right.
Is that like the best? Is that the best way to see it? So we also get to see the portrait as well? Yeah, I don't know.
And that's the challenging part, right? With all these kind of dynamic pieces they're putting out, if you're covering most of the character with some very cool concepts, but then I think it just kind of takes it away from what you want to look at.
I mean, it is really cool because we normally only have Cyclops beaming forward, beaming outward, but there was never a way of doing Cyclops with also it making contact with something, right?
Right.
And it is cool that it's like creating contact and it's like pushing. It looks like it's not looking just like fire; it's concussive blast, right? So it looks like it's really like pushing away from, and it's like destroying the Sentinel face. It's like I said, I like the pose. I think it's such a cool dynamic pose, and I like dynamic pieces. But it is just like I don't know that it's going to have to be preference. Does it bother you that a lot of the models occluded by the beam, but the beam looks really great too, and it lights up. It looks awesome. So
here's an idea. Here's an idea, and I'll give credit. It's not my idea. It's credit to Aiden. He was looking at the piece and we were talking about it from A+. And he said an option swap out would have been half of a beam hitting the Sentinel coming up towards him. So you can still see his body like he just fired a shot instead of a straight beam. And then you'd have that portrait with the mugging face or whatever face you want to look. So if you want to see his whole body, you can. So and it still gives you the same effect. But I think they couldn't do that because I feel that beam is a plug to hold that body up.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like that's big. And this is also coming from Aiden. Aiden will swap out 90% of the model for another swap out. He's a swap out master. So I could see him saying that. At the same time, though, coming from Sideshow and coming from production and coming from engineering, that's a big swap out.
Yeah.
That's too big of a swap out, and it would require, you couldn't just keep that in a box. So it would require making a separate little mini base to keep the head on to make it make sense, right? If they just have a little head, they're okay with giving you pieces with the little head you can put somewhere else, right? But like something that like literally removes the subject matter's primary view, like the main focal point is us seeing the beam hit something, right? So to remove that completely is changing the concept of whatever they were trying to make in the first place. I don't think they would do that. I really don't think. I think that's a really. I think they would see it as a bad idea to do something like that. So I don't. I think they'd be opposed. I don't think that would ever have been an option. But yeah,
that's why I bring. I forgot I got a little bit of blue tack right here on my table. That's why I always say I prefer custom groups, because
sure,
they can think outside the box like that and not have much of an issue. You know what I mean? And,
yeah.
And those thoughts could be implemented. Let's see if this blue tag works. Hell yeah! If it falls and breaks, whatever. It's just stuff. And that's why I prefer that, because if let's say a custom group was doing that Cyclops, and someone said, well, that's great, but what if you could do this? And they're like, well, the beam's not really holding his body up, so we can. And then they give you that option. And then you don't have to worry about that crazy big light up and being swapped out, because that lower beam would probably have the battery in it with the light, and you could just swap that little piece out and put it in, right? If that were the case. I'm just making an assumption now, but for fan art groups or custom groups, that's usually the case. They can do stuff like that, and there's no red tape. So that's why I prefer the customs. And that's, besides just having the freedom to be able to do whatever they please with a certain character, right?
Yeah.
But I do agree. I love the concept of the Sideshow Cyclops for sure. I really do like it. But I just see those things and I'm like, well, those are potential issues I don't want to have in the future. So that's kind of why I went towards that direction with it. But let me, I do have something here I want to show you guys. So for those of you that have purchased or have PO'd, same thing, the Evil Supergirl that we a while back, what looks like this group is deciding to do the classic Supergirl and animated series color option on Supergirl. So I'm going to pop that up. I want to share this with you guys because I think it's freaking fantastic. So I might tap in on this one. Let me share the screen and pop that up for you guys so you guys take a look at that. There it is. I absolutely love the way that looks. So if you guys remember, the Evil Supergirl had the purple crystals in the back. She had the dark uniform. You could change her emblem on top, red, black, silver, I believe. But this right here, man, Supergirl like this. I know she's holding Superman's cape, but I think that's an option. You don't have to have it. But I love the white crystals. Now, just from what I'm told, this is just a Photoshop. This hasn't been to fruition. It's just a Photoshop. And I guess they're looking for people that are interested in this particular piece, the way it looks. And I think it's freaking awesome. I love the way they added the Photoshop. What do you think, Roger? And then I'll show the exclusive version. It has two bodies. The other version is like a crop top with skirt, and I'll show you that. It does remind me of the animated series version.
Yeah, I think it's very generous for them to add this option. You know, like whoever came up with it, and I think I saw the original post and stuff like that. Good job putting that out there, because it really does change the entire concept, I think, as a whole. Like, and especially changing the crystals in the back too, right? Like it adds a completely different connotation to the model itself. And again, like you just expanded. Like for those who maybe aren't too familiar with Evil Supergirl or even know about the story about that, like you just opened up now what might have been just kind of a niche preference, now opened up to a lot of people who I know would resonate more with wanting like the pure like original version of Supergirl. Right. That's cool. Smart.
Yeah, and you know the cool thing about this is we all know Supergirl's, even when she's ready, she's not like the biggest happy-go-lucky, right? I find so.
And
I
I think
watched,
that's kind of what makes her like a fun alternative to Superman, right?
right, and that's why this looks so good because she's giving you that smiling smirk, but you're gonna get your ass kicked based off this portrait. And there's several portraits, but this one right here looks really good with the color versions. Like I watched a new Superman movie. Sorry if it's spoilers or not, but Supergirl's in it, and she's a mess. She's a mess. I'm just gonna say that. I'm gonna say why she's a mess, but she's a mess.
I didn't. Oh man,
So this version here really stands out and resonates with me based off that movie. Let me show you the alternative version for those that did pick up this piece and hasn't seen it yet. If I can freaking find it, which I can't. Sorry, let me switch that out.
What is this?
Yeah, that's why I'm switching it out because I screwed up.
Yeah, I don't want to see your OnlyFans account to get out here.
Yes, you do. Trust me. Let's go there. I don't know why I didn't pop up the other pictures.
I just to be fair, I did know about. I have seen it. I have seen the Superman, but I couldn't help that spoiler. If you haven't seen it by now, it's on you. It's your fault, right? Like.
Yeah. If you haven't, so there's like sort of the animated series look, and I love the way this looks as well. Let me zoom in on there a little bit. So this was like the other portrait option for that. So the only thing that they did mention is the base can't be changed, even though Stanley said spoil it for all.
All that, yeah.
All 400, yeah. The only thing that they did say that they can't change is the base. The base is going to stay the Dark Side base theme because it's similar to their Dark Side version, which I'm okay with. I love this. I love this concept with it. I would like to have the evil Supergirl original look and have this alternative look. Cypher, no, I don't believe it's available for 1/3. I think if there's people wanting it, I think if there's enough people wanting to back the 1/3, I think it would be great. But you can only imagine how big those crystals are going to be if you're going to pick up the deluxe version.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So Darkseid was already massive at 1/4, and those crystals don't look like they're small. So at 1/3, it'll be too much. But I wouldn't see why this particular version, this crop top, couldn't be 1/3. They do have a regular version where it's just without the crystals. That could be 1/3 if it's evil Supergirl. But that just, I think it's on demand. They're not just going to do it just to do it, right? But what do you think about this, Roger, with this kind of...
This would be more in line with what I get, because I try to get pieces that don't have a massive footprint. Everybody's different. Like I know some people want like a massive piece because they make it like a centerpiece, or they make like I've seen some really amazing displays and epic collections that have like pedestals specifically for big massive pieces to walk in as if you're like in an art gallery. Which if I had the space to do it, hell yeah, 100%. But knowing that you see my space back here, like my setup is set up to where I have probably more verticality for my pieces as opposed to more of a horizontal piece. So even my horizontal pieces, I can't. I like to keep it to where I can see it. I keep the consistency pretty close. So this would be more in line with what I would collect. So without the crystals, as much as I like the crystal stuff, this would be the version I would go with. If I could get the other version, the Supergirl more traditional look with this base, yeah, I mean that'd be. I don't know if that's an option.
Yeah, the options are there. Yeah. Because they have, I believe it's 2 versions: the deluxe with the crystal, and then just the regular without the crystal. If you get the regular version, you don't get the second character. So the deluxe comes with both the torso swap outs, but the regular only comes with the one option. So you don't get this particular character unless you request it. So you'll get the evil Supergirl without the crystals with that base, and that's it. So if you wanted a classic look, you can have it just like this with that simple base, and that's fine. So the options are there.
Awesome.
So
that's the cool thing about this group. Like whatever the option you want, there's availability for it, which is nice to have as a collector. You know, most of the time we look at our collectibles and it is as is shipped, whatever they're displaying. But I feel like this one, there's a checkbox for just about every variant you're thinking about. So pretty awesome.
Yeah, originally I thought about it too when I heard about it, and I'm like, but then when I think about it some more, I was like, that's an actually really good idea because you kind of get best of both worlds. I mean, in hindsight, you could get the evil Supergirl with the large crystals if you have space, and then just get the classic version next to it for whatever else you want if you want both of the variants. So that's a really good touch. So I really like the way they're doing things over there on their end. So
yeah.
Really cool. Chat, if you guys have any questions or you want to know, I know Cypher said the 1/3. I don't know about that yet, but if there's anything else you guys would like to know, just go ahead and post your comment down here, and we'll talk about it. If you guys have anything else you want to talk about, let me know. We'll keep going. There's some more stuff. There's some more stuff I like to show. We can talk about and get Roger's opinion on some of the stuff. Being a sculptor and an artist himself, he's got a lot of good details and terminologies.
Plus, I'm a sucker. Really, like you get me talking shop, dude. I'm all for it. So.
Yeah, and that's what we're here for, man. Let's talk shop. Let's get into the nitty gritty. You know what I mean? But based off what you've seen, anyways, anything on the sculpting you would like to change for this, or you would like to see something different?
No, this is set, man. Like, yeah, I've watched this piece come to fruition. I've watched like different iterations of it, and I think this is at like its most pristine spot. I wouldn't make changes. And you know me, I'm nitpicky. I think this is as good as it should be, and I think it's at like. I don't think nothing could be added to this to add more value. I think you would just be complicating it more, like to a piece I think is better simple. You know.
Right. No,
I think proportions are awesome. I think the base is great. I think the armor is cool. I like the detailed in like the metal armor, like the line work that's done on it's good. Yeah, I'm a fan of the S2. That's something like depending on like the purist when it comes to fans, like what S version do we like the most? I like this classic S is my jam. So. Looks good for me.
Yeah. It's a good looking piece. Is it possible to get this in its simple version with simple base? Yeah, I think we kind of.
That's what I just asked that. Yeah.
You can. I guess you just gotta ask around or send me a message. I'll hit you in the right direction. But you can. But like I mentioned earlier, the base has to stay. The base, from what I'm told, is going to stay the way it's going to stay. They're not going to change the base. All they could do is add different colors to what's pre-existing. So that's why they decided to go with the classic look and give the collectors that option. Because let's say you guys are collecting a DC line and you don't want an evil Supergirl, you want a badass classic. Well, there you have it. I don't think you're going to find a better classic than this. Now, there are good ones out there, and it really depends on the theme behind it, the concept behind it. And if you don't like this concept, that's fine. But like Roger mentioned, for my taste and his taste, this museum pose like this works great for our stuff. Like this is what we want, right? So not to say other groups don't have great Supergirl concepts. They do. It's just what is your preference and what works for your collection. And this works for me. And it seems to work for Roger as well. So that's, that's what you got to kind of process and think.
And that's the bottom line, all right? There's nothing else.
Yeah. Mr. Shawn Michael himself. Love that guy. Let me switch over here. Let's get our big heads in the screen because I hate scrolling through my Facebook and you guys see my OnlyFans account in there and people start reporting and I get canceled and I'm not trying to do all that.
You know what? Hulk Smash. You know what? I have not, but now that you mentioned it, I'm gonna look it up right now, just to see
my OnlyFans.
You're asking about Supergirl Adventures. Oh,
so there's the image that the concept, the idea came from the group. So there's your classic cartoon evil Supergirl kind of variant. Obviously, her crop top's different than the one I just showed from the statue.
Yeah.
But you can see the colorations and then the classic Supergirl outfit. So this was kind of like the madness behind the idea, which I like. Like I said, I love it. I think it's great. Let's see. Hulk Smash said, did y'all watch the recent My Adventures of the Superman cartoon. I like their version of the Supergirl. No, I have not watched it.
That's what I was just saying.
So Cypher said OnlyFans is fine. You got to fund the hobby somehow. You're absolutely right, brother. Absolutely right. So yeah, this is for those that jumped in and watched, rewind it a little bit. You'll see what we're talking about. Fan art, Evil Supergirl. They are doing the classic version and the animated version for that particular piece. For those that are watching, so just wanted to show the image behind it, which is that image. Let me get us.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. The question you just asked, that's a cool version of Supergirl. Yeah, I haven't seen this, so you have to check it out.
I don't know why this is doing this. Let's see. Sorry guys, I'm trying to select some images here, but it won't let me select all of it. So nope, didn't want to do that. Sorry.
We're experiencing technical difficulties.
Man, I've been experiencing technical difficulties all my damn life, and this month has been terrible. All right, I'm gonna jump into this piece right here. Please hit that like button. Thank you, Jimmy. Appreciate it. From Godlike. So I want to talk about this piece. I did a random reveal video on this piece, and I am learning how to do editing and stuff like that. And it's just something fun I was doing. I put it out there. Noted that I did not have enough time to do it, and I didn't think about what else I could do to make it better or shorter or grasp people's attention. But I wanted to show this piece and talk about it. I want to see what people think, and especially Roger, because there's so much in terms of sculpting and coloring in this thing that I think needed work. Maybe I'm crazy. So let's just bring this piece up, and it is the 1/4 scale fan art Mandarin. Roger, your thoughts on this piece? There is his skin's green, and he does have the human skin color. This is based off the animated series as well, which is the particular character VHN decided to sculpt. Stanley Marcos is okay. He sent me a message. He had to deal with a family emergency. He'll be back maybe in a few minutes, maybe in a couple minutes or whatnot. We can extend the chat a little longer if he's able to join in. So just throwing it out there, he's fine. So we're good. Roger, personally for me, it's a museum. I love the flow of the cape. And I think I like the dragon as well on this, the screen dragon. The only thing that I didn't care for, it's coiled up in front like it's like a add-on piece and not part of the base. But break this piece down for us. Let us know what you think. Obviously, we're not here to be negative towards the artist and stuff. He put a lot of work, a lot of love into it. He loves this character. But I feel there are a lot of things that could have been changed on it to progress the piece a little bit better. But from your professional opinion and what you're visually looking at, what do you think could have helped this piece be? What could you think that could make this piece more successful than what it is?
I like the piece. I was a fan of a lot of the details that he put into it. Specifically, there's a lot of ornamenting. There's a lot of like fine etch work that's done on the armor. There's scales. There's different materials. There's different directionality going on when it comes to like the scales. I do like the dragon in the front. You know, it is an interesting idea to bring up the possibility of it being more coiled around, perhaps the base in some form of way. I think it's still cool. I like this. Still has like it has like a tech vibe to the base, but still feels like an ancient Oriental type of a piece as well.
Sure.
The cool thing is I've never seen this representation of the Mandarin from the cartoon depicted in 3D. Are depicted, I think, in 3D printing or anything like statue was. So that's cool. I always like seeing perhaps like a new or a version of something that we haven't seen before. You know, I like seeing representation of things that maybe we don't get a lot of. You know, like if I had made the Mandarin, I probably would have stuck to the more traditional version of having like the cloth, having all the garments and clothing and stuff. His his robes and all that, I probably would have gone with that. But that's because that's the version only I know. Like that's the one I'm conditioned to know a lot of. Obviously, we got another version of that altogether in the MCU. So like I said, but the version that I know most of from the comic books is that. I do think he does have serious Shang Tsung vibes, which is one thing I'm kind of gathering from him. And it's primarily because of the portrait. The portrait reminds me a lot of the Shang Tsung from the movie. I forgot that actor's name, but that dude's the badass. So the explanation as to why he's green and why there's versions that aren't green, it'd be cool to know more about that. Again, like I said, that's me not being knowledgeable about the cartoon version or about the Mandarin, like in that essence. So call me ignorant on that one and naive not knowing that part. I think what will help this piece is how it gets painted. Right now, looking at the model, we have flat materials, like as far as gold and green. So it's a pretty saturated piece. There's not a lot of variety in color application. Now it would be cool if that like base lit up too. I'm just saying, like I know it's an extra adding. We keep talking about light up features, but there's really cool line work and edging in the base that could benefit from it. Yes, that's the actor. Kerry Tagawa, that's the guy I was thinking of. Thank you so much, Hulk Smash. It'd be cool to have like those thin line, all those little small intricate details of line work. If that kind of lit up a little bit or something, gives you kind of you know what? If I did that though, I'm saying right now, it gives it kind of Tron vibes if it kind of lit up and stuff, right?
Yeah.
But in green, or it'd be kind of cool if parts of the base were actually jade kind of texture material. It'd be kind of nice.
I think that's what he's going for because it's more Chinese and Mongolian themed. But if you guys were to spend the time, I know it's just me asking, but the render reveal video I did for him does explain a lot of the concept behind this piece from VHN himself and where he got the ideas from, and it explains it. So if you just like close your eyes and just listen to the audio, don't watch the video at all, it will literally tell you why he came up with the base and reasonings why he put all the details into the base.
Just sit there and close your eyes and just take it all in.
Just take it all in. You know what I'm saying? I will be doing future render reveals. I do have some already made, but I think I'm going to redo them. I've been told to shorten them and use my own voice. Now, everybody keeps saying the voices I'm using on my videos are AI, but they're actually not AI voices. Just to let everybody know, those voices I use are actually real people's voices. There's a particular app. Yeah, there's a particular app you can upload your voice, and it will do all the audio for you. Because they do have an option for AI, and it's terrible. I'm like, no, let's try the AI. I'm like, nope, I'm not doing that one. That one sucks. So I try to, and what I also try to do is pick a voice that's based off the character's dynamic. So if it's like a fun girl voice, then I'll pick somebody that's more fun and joyful and younger and stuff.
I'm real happy you didn't go to like Matt Parker or Trey Stone to do an Asian voice for this character. We would have got the guy from Shitty Walk in South Park, so that probably wouldn't have gone over well. So I'm glad you didn't do that. But
$50.
Yeah. Welcome to the Mandarin. So no, that wouldn't be good.
That would be $3,000. How about $50? $50. Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Sorry, I couldn't help it. We were talking about voiceover.
Yeah,
but
no, sorry. We jumped on a rant with the shenanigans.
Shenanigans. Someone pressed the button. No one's got it. Damn it, Marco. So the other thing I was going to say too about the ornamenting, you can see some of the fine edge work too, line work on the armor on his foot right here. Can you get us a couple more pictures of like the chest or something like that so we can see? There you go. Okay. So let's take a moment to like look at some of this fine work that's done here. I think that's really cool. I think there's areas that I might have. This is just me personally. I think I would have inset some of the areas a little bit more. So if there's like a dragon swirling around it, I think I would have made that inset or like probably offset a little bit higher so that it's not so flush. My only reason is because the last thing I would want is for these details to get lost in one another because there's some clashing in directionality of what's going on, and it creates kind of a noisy effect.
Right.
So I would perhaps try to maybe smooth out a couple of areas to kind of make some of the ornamenting and some of the design pop a little bit more to separate. But another way this can also really pop is in the paint application. You know how we saw previously on the Bishop, we had some really cool orange and burnt orange colors put into the yellows. Yeah, that's like a base wash. You just pretty much put that all on it and cover it so that all of those get in the crevices and all the lines like they did for Bishop. When you look at the hexagonal pattern on the boots and the stitching, it all has a little bit of like some real fine edging of orange. Think about doing that for the gold and having some of that burnt kind of brown color that gold is in dark on the dark edges of gold, having that in the edges and then having a brighter gold on top to really make those details pop. And again, those are details that'll make or break the details on a statue, because you can have an awesome statue not quite pop because the paint application isn't done as well as it could be. Those are ways. See, like it's really cool here. You can see how like there's some dark areas behind the primary details that are pushed to the foreground. Like you have the dragon head and you have the line, the whiskers, and these other like edgier lines that are real thin, coming around and coiling around, and then you around the flat, darker areas. That's how you kind of make that pop. So it'd be cool if when they do this, when this does get made, when it does get printed, that they put that emphasis to really make these pieces pop more and make the ornamenting really just pop off the character.
And the question would be, how do you make that pop when it's like gold? Could you do like a layer of dark gold and lighter gold? You know what I mean? Because
I just said that. I just said all of that. I literally just spoke for like
I know
5 minutes.
I know the washing.
Exactly.
No, I know the washing. I get that point of what you're saying, but for let's say, okay, so the texture on that suit. So you're saying that everything should just be washed and then the other because I understand how washing works, but
yeah, you got to put a base coat. Like they put a base coat that captures and absorbs all the dark ones. You brush it off and then you go back in. You start over and you overlay a lighter color after that dries a little bit more to come up more to the foreground.
I've seen them do a lot of that on portraits. They use the greens, they use the reds, they use the yellows.
That's for like subsurface scattering and skin stuff like that, right? To kind of get those tones that you see of blood that's flushed on certain parts of the face, like skin, the way blood sits on surfaces of the face that are closer to where bone is, right? So like you look at my cheek, your cheek, there's a little bit of a lighter area where the cheekbone's at because like the bone is pressed closer to the skin, so there's less blood under there, right? But then areas that are under that have thicker issues in the fat pads of the face, so you got like thicker blues and greens and hues and those types of colors that kind of sit in there, and that's kind of how you get that subsurface look. That's what they call that, subsurface scattering. I don't mean to like drop terminology, but that's what they call that. Especially when you see it's what gives skin kind of a waxier kind of look. Like you can see some translucency on the edges. If you put like a light behind the ear, you can see some kind of transparency kind of going on, a little fleshiness. That's what that is.
Right. So in terms of the dragon, would there be something different you'd want to do? Because it seems like there's some like a lighting effect inside a dragon, and I know it's supposed to be a jade dragon, right? Everything I think it's kind of jade concept. I just feel there's so much green and gold in there. There's not really anything popping.
You want more breakup, right? Yeah, like maybe some. Yeah. So there's something else too that could be done there too. Like also depending on, like when you look at his clothes too, there could be. Like the way the scales are painted on on the actual uniform, maybe those scales could be a different value of green, right? So that we don't have so much. Like the same thing with the cloak and the sash and stuff like that. Like there can be there's opportunities there for you to explore different green values to maybe make things separate and pop a little bit more. Because when you blur your eyes a little bit when you stare at it, it's just pretty monochrome with a lot of a lot of green. I do like the idea that all the dragon is this jade stone because it looks like chiseled stone or chiseled jade. I think that's a really awesome thing. And I really do like the scale work that's done on it. It's not just like one uniform scale. There's different values and different lines of scales going along this dragon's body and stuff, which I think look really cool. That was like one of the things that really popped out to me. Let me see, what else do I like? Cape's cool. I'm nitpicky about like having folds like, okay, so like right now when you see that fold coming down from like the point of the elbow that curves out to like a really kind of like that little check mark there, almost Nike looking swoosh. I'm a sucker for making sure that cloaks don't have that much consistency in line work. Like I would almost want that fold to narrow and taper off and disappear and maybe turn into another fold, as opposed to having a perfect tube fold. You have a perfect uniform kind of fold. That's a nitpicky thing, but it's only because like I've been working a lot of capes lately, so I always like to make sure that folds and specifically tubular folds, as they call those, maybe disappear or decimate and then turn into another fold. And you kind of just lose them to where it goes to a point. You know, look at like Spawn, man. There's a lot of stuff you can see in Spawn's cape and seeing how that kind of flows. That's like one of the things I studied a lot, like when I was younger, drawing capes. I try to make sure I minimize not having too many uniform shapes go too long, too far. It's a nitpicky thing, but like look at different capes and stuff, and you sometimes don't like to see that too much. That's the only nitpick I have for it. But other than that, man, the cape, I love that the cape doesn't have too big of a footprint either. Again, this is like a museum piece that we can kind of keep contained. If anything, I think this could almost benefit from tapering the base a little bit more. Like I like to keep the verticality of my character, like I said, almost uniformly kind of vertical and not have too big of a base. Like right now, the base is a little bit wider maybe than he needs to be. That's the only thing. And it's a small nitpicky. Like if I could bring the circumference of the base down just a smidge so that it's more vertical in line with him, that'd be a one thing. But that's like a design choice, you know. That's nothing that takes away the value of the statue. That's just me being like weird and nitpicky. Overall, I think it's a stellar piece, and I think VHN did an awesome job.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. We're getting a great explanation too, because that's a whole mouthful that I wouldn't be able to freaking talk about.
Sorry, at some point you got to put a sign up that says "Wrap it up, B." They do that.
Don't need to wrap it up. But Stanley said it right. Roger sounds professional.
I read a Wikipedia page right before this.
I literally saw him have a book.
I really don't know shit about
this. He had a Sculpting for Dummies book, and he's just trying to like absorb as much as he can before he came on the stream. No, Stanley, Roger here, over 2 decades of experience. So that's why I love having him.
I don't feel like that. I sound so old. You put 2 decades. God.
Over 2 decades. I didn't just say 2 decades, because that means over 2 decades of experience. So Roger's got a lot of good stuff coming along. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. One more piece I want to chat about I see, and I think it's not up my alley, but I like it. But I did want to bring this up, and I just want to see the vibe from everybody, what Roger's opinions are on this particular.
Let's see. Drum roll. Let's see.
But yeah, this cape is I like the cape, but I get what you're saying now that you bring it up. So now I hate it, and I don't want it anymore.
Damn, that escalated quickly. Yeah, I hate it. I never want to see it again. It's on my face. It's not true. It's not true. VHN, no, it's not true.
Just FYI, I don't know if this piece is being produced, but I did notice that VHN put it on a Patreon. So for those of you that are big Iron Man fans and are into the printing thing, I'm pretty sure you can go head over to VHN, click on his Patreon link, and check out what he has there. And, just buy the file and print it out and paint it the way you want to paint it.
Support artists, go buy it. I don't even care if you're going to print it. Just buy it anyway. Do it.
Yeah. Just go ahead and support VHN and all his work. I would like to see, I think there was what you said, Roger, is good. I do like to see that whole dragon kind of jade with the light up on the bottom, so it gives that green pop.
I know, it looks sick, right?
It would look really, really good after you look at it for a while. I do like the idea of like if the dragon was curling around him and his head's right next to his right foot or something like that, it just kind of circles.
Settle down, Voldemort. Settle down.
Yeah, just like Voldemort with the snake. Exactly. See, he should have stole that. And if he would have
stole God. What have I done?
Yeah, so I do like that. There was a piece, I can't remember the freaking character's name. From the Green Lantern, he becomes evil as the Yellow Lantern. What's his name?
Sinestro?
Sinestro. So there was, I think it was by LA Figures, a 3D company. They did an STL where Sinestro has like a beast next to his leg, kind of curling around like that. and it looked really good. And I think I talked about it a while back when it first came out, and I thought it was awesome because he was yellow, and it really worked out for it. Thank you, Hulk. Sinestro. And that was an awesome piece. So I thought when I saw this, I thought that would have been cool too. Maybe it being a little bigger, the head a little bit wider, and it just kind of curling up next to his leg. I thought that would be cool. But this is good too. It doesn't take much space. I think if it was curling, it might take up more space. But this works as well. So for those of you who want support VHN, go over there, check him out, click his link, chat with them. If you want him to do anything for you, he'll do it for you and send you the file, and you can print it out yourself. Whatever you like to do, he's down for it. A really, really great guy. We've had him on the stream a couple times. Hopefully we can get him some more. I think the last time he was on the stream, his internet was a lot better, and that's because I don't think he's in Europe anymore. He's in South America. So for some reason, it just works for him, and the scheduling-wise works. So hopefully we can get him in sooner than later. Hopefully he's got some new projects he can chat with us about, and we can have Roger come on, and they can nerd out on sculpting and how to sculpt, and
would
love to see
all the
that.
nerd out. Yeah,
all the nerd out. Also want to thank everybody that's subscribed to ASV Collectibles, the 16 people watching right now, and those that will watch in the future. I really appreciate the love. Thank you for the panel, the guys that are on here. So if you are watching and you're not in the chat, jump on the chat, just say hello. Throw out some questions you want. If there's anything you want to talk about, we'll talk about. This is an open panel, nothing scripted. We just roll. That's why we kind of fail a lot and stuff like that. But that's okay.
Speak for yourself, fool. I ain't failing. No one's failing here. Shit.
Okay. I'm failing a lot, and so is Marcos, and Marcos is not here for us.
Marcos failed. He failed. He had like one sip of whiskey, damn near killed him.
That was it.
And that was it.
He's probably laid out on his chair after the one sip. Text me.
And he's gonna come back talking like Voldemort. Oh my god.
Oh man, you gotta
love
who lived.
He's gonna have like a much deeper voice now. Like with that, just like I said, I don't know. I guess he didn't read the label too well. He took like two swibs. And he was like, oh. He's gone.
Saying that his testicle drops and he's gonna have a manly voice when he comes back.
He's be like, I really like that bishop. That bishop was amazing. I can see the Mandarin all day. I love that Mandarin.
And I wish he was on here because I actually picked this piece to look at and talk about because he is a big fan of one of these characters, super big fan. So let's see. Up. Bam. There it is.
There you go. I saw this week. Yeah.
Super awesome, man. I really, really am enjoying this, and I'm very, very picky with my Wolverines, and not so much Deadpool because I'm not like the biggest fan. And I really wanted to see where Marco's take was on this Deadpool, but I'm really digging the Wolverine. Obviously, classic brown outfit. What
are your thoughts of that? Like as far as I'm interested here to ask the crowd here. What's our favorite version of Wolverine? The brown and orange or the yellow blue? Just curious.
I'm a fan of yellow blue, obviously, just probably based on just my upbringing and watching X-Men 97 and reading the comics with him, yellow and blue. I did read some of the brown and yellow, but I still wasn't too much of a big fan of it. And then when X-Force came along, I love the black and gray. I really do. I think probably more than the yellow and blue, but I do like the yellow and blue. Hulk Smash said
I have this conversation with a buddy of mine all the time, and we're always talking about like which one. I'm a blue and yellow. Like I think for me I started with Jim Lee X-Men, so like that's the first real like version I really resonated with me. And then of course I saw the different versions. I collected the Wolverine comic book, and I saw more of the brown in that one. But I always had more fun drawing the blue and yellow one. Maybe it's because I just like the shoulder pads and stuff like that. But either way, it just kind of stuck with me more. But as I've gotten older and as I started appreciating things differently, the brown and orange kind of just looks cool too to me. I wish I saw more statues of it, personally. But I do. Seeing Deadpool and Wolverine in anything, sign me up. It's cool. It would be cool if there was a variant of this that had the X-Force color scheme. That'd be cool. But yeah, I like the removal of the mouth for Deadpool. Adds a little bit more character, more personality.
I think there's more
What?
Portraits. I think there's more portraits. Let me see if I can find it. I also, sorry here. I'm trying to find it just so we can have it and we can look at. But no, yeah, let me see if I got more pictures of it. I'm sorry. I don't think I uploaded enough of them. But I did. You're right. I do like how he's kind of having that little smirk. I do feel a little uncomfortable that he's behind Logan like that.
I wasn't going to say anything. I really wasn't going to say anything. But at the same time, we're the same person sometimes. And I don't know. Maybe these two are for the streets. Where's Marcus at?
You know, Deadpool's for the streets. We know Deadpool's for the streets because
I don't know. This Wolverine might be for the streets too. Who knows?
I do also like the base. If you look at the base, you got kind of almost all the villains there. You got Death, you got Thanos, you got Omega Red. I think that might be Cable on that other end there. Let me pan over to some more images here. This is
So
you got Hulk, Cyclops. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, as far as the faces on the bottom, like I think I would have kept them for sure. Like that's a big choice, right? What characters do you put there? Which ones belong down there, right? Do you make them all X-Force oriented or like Task Force X? Like not Task Force X. Do you which faces are more, like I don't know if I would put Thanos there. I think I'd probably still keep it more like maybe maybe I would put Maverick down there, perhaps.
Yeah, I think the goal was to have a few that Wolverine has issues with and a few that Deadpool has issue with, and I think that's why he went Thanos and Death.
Why would Thanos have anything to do with any of them?
Because Deadpool is stealing Death from Thanos, and he's fought Thanos several times in the comic book. So I think that's why
I don't know, man. I feel like that's I personally I don't think I would put Thanos. I feel like Thanos is more of like this cosmic threat. I would keep it more X-Men centric. Right. This just me. Like I think I could see Hulk being there, but you know what? I put Maestro Hulk on there.
Yeah, well, yeah, but did Wolverine fight Maestro Hulk that much? I know he fought the regular
Hulk like Old Man Logan, like that whole story. What are you talking about?
Well, yeah, that's Old Man Logan, but this isn't Old Man Logan. This is Brown Suit.
It's like a big Wolverine story. All right. So yeah, Hulk smash saying so courting death. So maybe. All right, I'm just saying, like I think I got put Maverick down there, or maybe somebody else from X-Force. Sabretooth's right there. I'm sure that's him. In the back, we got Scott. We've got, you said Omega Red.
Yeah, it looks like Omega Red. So that looks like Cable. Yeah. So Hulk, Cable, Death, Thanos, Omega Red, Cyclops.
Yeah, I put Sabretooth right in the front. That's what I would have done, like right there.
Yeah, he put Death there. I think that was because of Deadpool. So just there's the option there with Deadpool with his mask.
Yeah.
With the cigar. I love this
cigar. I like the cigar. The cigar is a cool touch. Yeah. I like that.
I like the cigar as well. I would like to see it lit.
Calm down.
We
can't put a light up effect on everything, guy.
You on the cigar? Come on, man. We had the.
You're gonna be like, it's gonna be another. Are you gonna say like what you did for Ghost Rider? Be like, it looks too good. It can't be without it now. The light up feature is just too good.
No. Come on, now you're just exaggerating. Okay, now you're just exaggerating. It's just a cigar. I think it gave it a great touch when I did the unboxing with the Wolverine and the Dead Ninjas, where the cigar you could light up. I thought that was great. I was like, oh, that's a nice touch. Like I'm okay with small light up touches. When it's a massive thing and it doesn't look as good, when it's off, that's a different story. So
whatever, dude. I'll send you a glow stick after this is over. You can have all the light up fun you want.
That's fine. I'll take it. So Hulk said both characters defy death too. Maybe that's why she's front of the center.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe, but that's a stretch, right? We're having to add narrative now to validate it, right? So I would prefer to go with something that's like no brainer, makes sense, right? Where I don't second guess and where why is that?
I don't think it's a case of validation. I think it's a case of storytelling per person that purchased the piece. Like, if you see, thank you, Stanley. Great idea. Thank you. Cigar. All right, Roger.
All right, cigars for everybody. I'll buy us. I'll send everybody a little mini humidor with cigars, and we can all hang out and shoot the shit.
I'll take it.
We like, and we can drink whiskey that makes Marco squirm. So yeah.
I think, and I've said this before. It's about what story you want to tell when you have the piece in hand. And I think that's what it is, right? If we just, just say it. This is the narrative. Then yeah, it's gonna be some people are gonna like it or not like it. But these are your collection. These are your pieces of the story you want to tell. So if that's the story you want to tell, it is what it is, right? So that's why I say that. I would like to see this version. And I don't know this group that at the top of my head. I don't think I've spoken to the commissioner about this particular piece, but I would like to see not just the brown suit Wolverine, like maybe there's a variant of it. If they could do an X-Force for both of the characters, that'd be something I'd be interested in.
I just said that earlier.
I'm just stating what I like. Yeah.
Why are you doing this? You think you just came up? Dude, everybody who's watching knows that I incepted him. I said this earlier. It'd be cool if we had an X-Force variant. It'd be really awesome. He thinks he just came up with this idea on his own.
I'm not saying that. Come on, I agree with you.
A long time ago. It's fine. You guys saw it live, so we can go back and rewatch it. So there's no arguing. This is I literally said that in like 5 minutes. You know what would be cool? It'd be so cool if we did for me. It'd be cool. I know you said it, but I'm just saying for me, yes, because I'm a big X-Force guy. I would like to see that. I know you said it. I'm just reiterating. I don't think I said it. I think you forgot.
Maybe people didn't hear you. Yeah, I'm forgetting right now what I'm saying right now. I'm having a bad month. I got all kinds of issues going on with me. So I'm having a terrible month. But I would love to have this is part of the show. Okay. This is how we do things here. Marcos is not here, so I have to do something.
Oh yeah, I love this. Is like one of my favorite is the non-format, complete open forum version of this. This makes it fun. So you know what? I really like the pose for Wolverine. It's just like it's not symmetrical. He's not just crouching on one side more than the other. And I like the pose a lot, and I do like that he's stocky. Like he feels beefy and stocky, And like I always like my Wolverine to feel beefy and stocky like that. So, that's cool. That's neat.
So one thing I'm noticing, unless it's coming out of Wolverine's backside, is the blood on the base.
Yeah, where's the blood coming from? There's no blood on their blades. I'm just
saying. Where's it coming from, Wolverine? Where's it coming from?
Oh no, hemorrhoids.
Okay, let's chop it up to hemorrhoids, everybody. Let's just.
He is squatting. He's squatting. The face. Oh no! Nobody looked.
He's like, goddamn Deadpool, get that out of there.
What's funny is so like, and look at him. Look at Deadpool's like, dude. Deadpool's like, yeah, that ass. That ass.
I don't know, but I think we're gonna get
gotcha, girls. Yeah.
Because this is literally like the worst image in the world. Like Deadpool smiling and Wolverine's pretty. So that's not a good sign on this piece.
Yeah.
But
everything we said about this before, forget it. Forget it. Everything we said. Everything would have been fine if you not brought up the blood. The blood was no origin. No visible origin.
Yeah, it's just there. I'm not quite sure why the blood's there. Maybe the chat can help me out why there potentially could be blood there. Unfortunately, my mind went south into a different direction. Wait a minute.
Deadpool's like, you think? Dude, Deadpool's like,
zoom in. There's blood right there on Deadpool.
Oh, bullet holes. Right okay. Okay.
Woo!
All right.
I think we dodged a bullet on that one, guys.
Ship it.
Yeah, we dodged a bullet. Got her here on the forearm. Right. Lower abdomen, upper abdomen. Let's see.
So all of that is Deadpool's blood.
It's Deadpool's blood. One on the shoulder over here as well. Okay. I'm sorry. I take that back. I was assuming one thing.
Hulk Smash said ass to ass. So
ass to ass.
I don't know, man. I saw Requiem for a Dream. Never again, man. So it was a one-time deal.
Great movie, though. Great movie.
It does. You know what? That's one of those scared straight movies. Like show that to like every kid at like, I don't know, late teenage years, like, oh, so you could explore drugs, huh? Just show them Requiem for a Dream, set them straight, never go back.
Yeah.
Sorry, another tangent, but yeah.
So Hulk Smash said, wouldn't make sense for display, but turn Deadpool around and have him back to back, put him on a spinning base. Yeah, that'd be kind of tough. Not everybody's gonna have an electrical turntable. So it rotates and you can see both characters.
I'll tell you what. This is what I would do so we can just remove whatever ambiguous, terrible ideas we subconsciously have. about the orientation of their position, which
Yeah.
we're not going to discuss any further. But if you got them, since they have to be like this, what if you just had them a little bit separated like that? You know what I mean? Like maybe he doesn't have to be like it's about to piggyback or he just finished piggybacking. He's just a little bit like if they're just facing a little bit outward in two different directions, right? Like who's next kind of thing, like facing away two different directions. Maybe that would have been a better orientation so that we could remove.
So
it's not about it's not about the statue. It's us. Okay, let's just get this out of the way. It's us.
So
we're the ones that have these ideas. We're the ones that seen too many movies or have terrible upbringings. But anyway, we're the ones that have these thoughts that you can have. So
you're saying pretty much so the chat people can understand pretty much like shoulder to shoulder, but at a 45 to each other.
Yeah, a little bit like even if it's like it doesn't have to be 45, but even like a little bit less. Just as long as they're not directly behind each other and maybe a little bit side to side, but facing in different directions. Like if you got Wolverine looking to your left and Deadpool's looking a little bit more to your right, and he's not positioned so far behind him and more like a little bit next to him, that'd have been fine. But unfortunately, and I blame also Ryan Reynolds because I'm using Ryan Reynolds' sense of humor to associate what Deadpool would be doing and why he's smirking. He's like, look at that. You think Wolverine walked like that before this?
No.
You know what I mean? Yeah, that's why he's got that smirk. And Wolverine's like, ugh.
So Aiden said A+ is in the house. He said have Deadpool's hand grabbing Wolverine's peach. Hulk Smash said instead of a fastball special, they call it
there you go. The old bowling ball. Yeah, that's
the old bowling ball. See, so you are right. It's not
okay.
It's the humans.
He's thinking shocker. Yeah,
right.
Two in the other. Yeah, okay, gotcha.
Exactly. So it's us. It's just us people where we got problems. We didn't say we didn't. We never like shied away from it. So it's not like this. Is true.
It's not a big reveal. It's not a big reveal.
No,
like if you've seen the show enough, it's not a big reveal. There's no spoilers. No spoilers.
And I'm all for it. I love you guys. Thank you. One more thing I want to show.
No, Aiden. No, Aiden. No. No.
Why would you do that?
That's called the showstopper. There's the Spocker and then there's a showstopper. So that's no.
This particular piece just came to my attention by a fellow collector. I think it's pretty dope. It's a 1/3 scale. It's museum, and we talked about this earlier. So I wanted to bring it up because I knew you were talking about capes and stuff. So let me pop this image up here, which there is a lot. There you go.
Oh, wow, we're just talking about Spawn.
Yeah, and that's why I brought it up.
Yeah,
it's a very cool piece. This piece, I think I don't know the group very well. I don't know the commissioner very well. It's just brought up by another collector. And I'm really digging it. I like it. It's museum. It's 1/3. There is a quarter version. And I know you were talking about the cape. Unfortunately, it's like very dark.
Super dark. I love the tethered cape because you see, like Spawn's cape is its own case study. Like you can look at I don't know how many comic books, whether it's McFarlane, Capullo, you can just study all of their art. And the way the cape is depicted, it's pretty much understood. It's a character in itself, right? So it's got to get that much attention. You can't phone in Spawn's cape. You got to like literally give it as much attention as you would him because of how much character and personality and the fact, like I said, it's kind of got a life of its own. Dude, this is rad. This looks really cool. Plus, I never get tired of seeing Spawn representation in statue collection, only because, we never get that because, Todd McFarlane holds Spawn very closely to the chest. I get it. It's his piece. He can do whatever he wants with it, but it's what he doesn't do with it at times that makes me like, we need. Right. I would love to see more Spawn in 3D in a statue form than what we get. And unfortunately, I feel like the majority of what we're only going to get is from, commissioned pieces and private collections. This is damn cool.
I love the energy and the chains too. The way this change.
This for me personally, I know we've talked about this a million times when it comes to like kinetic pose or dynamic pose as opposed to museum pose. That's how I like my museum poses. That like this is like a power stance, but it's still kinetic. It's still got motion and it still has attitude. It's still got presence and it still has there's mobility to it. And a lot of it has to do. It doesn't even have to do with the character. but it's the cape and the chains that are flowing enough to give this enough mobility and enough movement that I can sit there. I can look at this piece, and it's like I can see the wind. My imagination is already creating for me a scenario where the wind is creating this kind of like open flow movement, and the chains and stuff are moving based off what Spawn just did. Oh, look at that shit. Look at that.
Yeah, this is by far a really, really dope piece.
Yeah, that's a cool piece, man.
I don't know if the green is light up, especially on his eyes. But just looking at the different swap outs and everything you get with this, it is pretty cool. This particular person, I think, has the 1/3. If this was a quarter scale, man, I think it'd be right up my alley.
If this is 1/3, look at how wide that's going to be with this cape. Christ, because it's almost as tall. Like the width is almost the height. Like that's crazy. If it was 1/3.
And you see the positioning of the guns. That's kind of how I was talking about with Bishop, where his arms should be.
You were just saying that. Yeah,
this would be the position I would like to see this Bishop in with that.
Also, question 2. Let me ask fans here. Ask the group. Do you like Spawn with guns, without guns? Do you like Spawn? Like, what's your type of like Spawn? Do you like? I'm just kind of curious.
Yeah. Let us know, because there's several different types of Spawn, and then these are like the portrait swap outs. It looks like.
Give me that Al Simmons. That's like Curse of the Spawn right there.
Yeah. So that's a pretty dope look. I always like that look. There's.
Oh shit! That looks awesome.
Yeah. And all these I don't think there's a Simmons in here. Honestly, I think it's just these.
I mean, I'll take that as a Simmons.
Yeah, this one right here.
Yeah, there you go. Spawn with guns. I like it.
Yeah, Spawn with guns.
Yeah.
I do like the screen on this. Let's see if I can.
One thing I'm always a fan of, is I like how his costume texture over the years. Like initially, the first I don't know, it might have just been like the first 20 issues. His costume looked more like a worn Spider-Man outfit. Like it was an actual shiny kind of material costume, and it became more organic as time went on. Like now it looks like withered away flesh, but it completely painted black. Like it looks like it's got organic flow to it. Yo, where'd it go? Yeah.
Sorry. Oh, you're still talking about. I'm sorry. There it is. I'm sorry.
Never let it happen again. Controls. Marcus. I blame Marcus. But yeah, no, I like.
He's not here. He's my admin. He's not here. So it's his fault.
Just giving you shit, man. No, I really love the fact that the cloth or the costume is taken on more of an organic texture,
right?
And the actual mark, like the white and stuff, has more of a smoky kind of look to it.
Yeah.
So it really separates contrast. I love that. And dude, I always love the boot with spikes, man. There's always like a club boot that almost looks like a Mega Man club boot. I love the spikes on that one.
Here's what I can appreciate: this dead body with maggots, even in the eyes.
Ew!
Yeah.
Dude, you even put maggots. Wow, that's
that's what I'm saying about this piece, man. The attention to detail they added to this piece is freaking phenomenal. It's like and these are like some of the image I have. I don't even know the rest of it. Like I wish I did have like this piece in hand, or if I could unbox this piece, it would be freaking awesome. I love how
I'm
maggots
are terrified of how you would mold and how you'd ship the chains.
Right, I agreed. Like I'm big in engineering and stuff, and I couldn't even imagine if this scarf from Bishop broke. Imagine the tips of those capes and how this chain would be shipped. You're absolutely correct. That's I don't know. That would be.
That's the one thing. I would be I'd be terrified of how. I mean, anything can be done, right? I like to think that that anything can be done. So of course it can be done, but kudos to engineering when it comes to printing that. I don't know, maybe this is a custom piece. It gets printed out individually, and each piece is what it is. I don't know about mass producing it, how hard that would be to produce. Like I said, because you have to get the molds and actually print these out and then package them. What's the best way to package? Even if you package that pristinely. You know that when you ship things, a lot of times it doesn't matter how well you package it. Sometimes shit just happens, and you try to minimize that as much as you can by making pieces that are sound. When it comes to engineering, that have less human error for them to actually snap and break. So yeah,
which is tough, man. I mean, I am curious too. I can't wait. I believe this will be shipping soon, from what I'm told. I don't know how
Right.
soon.
Oh, nice.
So we will probably see pictures of this on people's shelves and stuff like that. So hopefully we see it out there in the wild and we can get some better pictures of it up close and some more detailed pictures of it.
Would
Like I
you
said,
would you buy this? I mean, your collection right now is pretty focused, but would you buy a Spawn piece? Just curious.
I would. I mean, I've seen a lot of Spawn pieces, but this is probably the one I would buy if I were to buy a Spawn piece. And
Okay.
the reason why is because I think it would look good with my Angelus and my Aphrodite.
I was about to ask you because you have those other image pieces. So would that like
Yeah.
fit in line with those? Have you seen?
believe-
This is off the subject, but it still pertains to Spawn. But I know that recently got showed, and I think TTN did a paint job on it. But did you see the Cygor versus Wolverine? Versus Cygor versus Spawn diorama by chance? They just
You know what? I don't know if I caught that.
yeah, no, I saw it recently and stuff. But it's another Spawn piece, but it's a diorama, like actual action pose of
Right.
like Cygor is the base, basically. Half of his torso is the base, and he's got Spawn like doing a really cool, like dynamic jump on his back. There's a lot of flowiness, and again, the chains are flying, so it can be done. It's just like I just get scared because like I always feel guilty when I make pieces that I know might be difficult to make. Like I'm not trying to make someone else's life miserable, but I'm also trying to get the most out of the subject matter, right? So
Well, yeah, because it's an artistic view coming from your vision, and you're putting it from 2D to 3D.
yeah,
But then when it's printed, in actuality, with engineering, it's a different story, right?
yeah.
So that's your vision, and what are you gonna do?
That's where the limitations come in and stuff like that. Because my imagination will exceed what I can do or what I can actually make, physical or like in printing and stuff, right? Again, like if I had my own printer and I was making my own stuff, sure, I would probably, I wouldn't care about making different versions of it and failing along the way because it's my resin and stuff. It's my print. So, but yeah, like I said, I'm always trying to be empathetic towards those that are going to be making the pieces. So yeah.
Yeah. Knight said that Spawn looks dope. Walton said he wants a Spawn on the cross. He also said that the custom on that Spawn is far from comic accurate. I don't, I read the comics a long time. Maybe Roger can pick on that. But there is artist interpretation. Every artist wants to see a particular thing on some character.
I mean, if we're talking about like, I don't know, if we're talking like what era, if we're talking like early era Spawn, yeah, no, man, like the early era Spawn had like a way more smoother texture, smoother materials and stuff. Hey, he's still got the packs on his thigh. That was something that like was still traditional from like the early '90s version. As far as the cape's concerned, I mean, most of the time, whenever the cape was drawn, you couldn't fit it all on one page. It normally goes across like 2 pages. So I don't know, man. I feel like this isn't exactly like it's not necessarily the movie version, right? We're not talking about Michael Jai White version at all. It's not even close to that. I don't want to see the corpse beneath the suit. Oh, walk it off,
Man. That's the beauty of it. And we talked about that in the beginning of the stream about wanting more comic accurate or wanting more lifelike, more hyper realistic, and then you get the middle stuff kind of like this, right? I don't find it unnecessary or necessary.
Like, I don't think this deviates too far from the comic version enough to where it doesn't look like. I mean, we can look at this at a glance and know that's Spawn.
No, it's Spawn. Yeah, I can have it on the shelf, and someone that's never read comics be like, "Hey, that looks like Spawn." It's like, yes.
It checks off the boxes of what we know as Spawn. We got chains, spikes. You got the white mark on his body. You got the eyes. You got the cape.
Right.
You got the guns. Like I said, it's not. I don't feel like they deviated too far away from that to where it's not identifiable.
And then it's like, I don't know. He said I only read Spawn 1 through 55.
I mean, that's a really good chunk.
Yeah,
that's a few years.
I mean, I can inquire and look into it, but I don't really know the reasoning behind why that base is like that. Maybe he's in hell. Maybe something. I don't know, right? But I just like the subtle and small little detailed touch, like the little maggots on there and stuff like that. I would like to see what's behind him and between the cape. I want to see if they added more to it, or they just kind of stopped there and just neglected the rest of the base. When McFarlane had him escape hell after his power ran out, it felt like a cop out.
You know what's funny? You bring that up, like the ticking, right? The timer on, like, you know, when time running with him being on a lease on life, you know, and time running out. I always was curious exactly what is he really going to do when that time runs out? What's really going to happen? So, yeah, I see what you're talking about, because I kind of thought the same thing. I was like, oh, well, that was kind of pointless, I guess, right? Like, I don't know. Whatever. It's comic book logic, right? Like,
yeah, comic book logic. There is none, so this is what it is. But there is not Spawn, but there is a Redeemer, a custom Redeemer going to be coming up. I don't know if it's this year or not. I know they're working on it. I've seen some tidbits of it, and I think I shared a few of it in the beginning of the year, but I have got nothing new. But from what I was seeing, it looks pretty damn epic, and that would go great with this particular piece, because it's also sort of a dynamic museum piece. And I know Redeemer's not like, you know, he's just one of those characters in the Spawn line, and I know a lot of people love the Spawn, so like Spawn on horse or things like that. Let's see. Hulk said, pretty sure this is a dead ring for one of Spawn's art or cover. Dead Ringer. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to, like I said, do my research to find out what was the concept or the idea behind that base. But yeah, that Redeemer would look great with it. So I'm kind of like, I get conflicted with my collection. So I'm like, all X-Men, I got Avengers, and then here I am with some freaking Angelus and Aphrodite, and I really would like to get the XM Magdalena, but this Spawn is on my radar. I don't know if there's any more available, but I'd really like it. Unfortunately, this piece that he showed me is a 1/3. I don't know if he's going to sell it or not, but I wouldn't pick up a 1/3. Not with that cape. Like that's Batman 1000 cape. That's huge. Like that'd be like too massive for me to deal with. I already got to deal with that one already in terms of real estate.
yeah.
But let's see. Walton said, Spawn 1 through 60 didn't have you being able to see the corpse, and on top of that, the cape wasn't tattered. The suit wasn't cloth. It makes no sense to have it being torn up.
Well, that's that. Just never mind. This shit sucks.
Yes. About this, it's just, you know, damn cape being tattered. Like I think if you guys are like very, very Spawn, like heavy Spawn, you're gonna nitpick the hell out of any Spawn statue that comes out, because artist interpretations are gonna add certain things and certain aspects to it. Maybe they feel that the tattered cape is cool and they like it, and that's how they want to produce the piece. So it's really up to you. If you're a hardcore Spawn, you're gonna have to wait for someone that really embodies the like lore of the IP to what you would like to see. Until
then, you're stuck with this shit, you know.
Yeah. I mean, this garbage here, you're just gonna have to pick this up and buy it.
Fucking basura. Sorry,
sorry. That's Spanish for garbage. Okay, basura. I still think it's cool. A Plus said, I think making something that comes straight off the comic page is lazy. Potentially.
It just, you know, I wrestle with that idea too at times. It's like, am I just making a 1-to-1 concept? Well, then if I'm doing that, a lot of times I'm doing it as a tribute, you know, and if I'm doing a tribute, I want it to be 100% accurate. Right. So if I'm saying thank you to Todd McFarlane for what you've given me as inspiration from your work, and I'm doing a 100% 1-to-1 depiction of it, then that's the purpose of it, right? I wasn't trying to put effort where there wasn't effort. It's more so about putting the effort in and making sure that I do the concept justice, right? But if you're only, but that's that. But if I'm making a piece that I'm trying to sell and make money off of someone else's concept that's based off a cover that already exists, ethically, that's one thing, and then also there's the laziness too, right? Was it lazy to just do that if you're not just doing it as a thank you or as a tribute piece, but you're doing it to also, you know, flip a profit off of it? Well, then at that point, then maybe that is lazy. That saying you're just gonna like take someone else's concept and say that, but it just depends like how you want to look at it. It's a perspective kind of thing. I think, and there's some people that like absolutely love certain covers that would love to have a depiction of it. You know, I mean, there's purists that are like, man, I would kill to have Spawn 1, or I guess I'm trying to think of one of the covers of Spawn that like really stands out to me. Maybe it's like number 5, where it's like I really want that depiction because it's like a defining piece for me, right?
Sure.
Again, like
I mean,
there's a lot of angles to look at, right? Is it what's right, what's wrong? You know, is there areas of gray there? So
artistically, I don't think there's a right or wrong. It's all perception, right? It's all subjective. But also sometimes certain art covers and certain 2D doesn't translate well in 3D. So you could want that cover, and when you put it in 3D, it just doesn't translate the way you would like it to translate.
And the one thing that I will say to combat the notion, as I was just reading right now, Aiden said that it's zero creativity involved. Well, I don't know, man. Like, give me a 2D image and adapt that, and tell me what happens in the rest of the model. What happens in the rest of the picture? If you're only seeing one angle of it, it involves creativity capturing the rest of what's going on in that scene, right? If you're only providing me one angle, it's up to me creatively to decide exactly what's happening from the left, the right, the back, underneath, and every other. So there are creative liberties that need to be taken in order for you to truly adapt something from 2D to 3D if you're only working with one image. So I don't know. I think that there's still creativity to be had there. Like I said, plus on top of that, if I do decide to depict a cover, well, me going in there to add details like stitching, me adding porosity, me adding like, I don't know, adding more texture to where on the drawing where there isn't any texture. Like there's a lot of things. There's a lot of areas where you can take creative liberties just to an existing 2D concept that still involve a level of critical thinking and creativity. So, like I said, I wouldn't say it's completely like an easy thing to do. If that were the case, then we would see a lot of representation in 3D that would be perfect, and we don't see that. We see a lot of examples where people try to capture it, and you're like, oh yeah, that's off. This is off. I mean, hell, you and I specifically have seen examples where we look at adaptations of things, and it's like right off the bat, we know there's something wrong with it. We know there's something off about it. So yeah, so I would say there's still it's not like an easy thing to do. It's not something that requires like zero effort. So that particularly, I can tell you guys identify being particular with something that you have. I don't know, when you have like a kindred bond with some of the things you grew up with, you have a level of ownership over the work and over the art, even though it's not yours. It is yours from like your memory. It is yours from like a sentimentality. So I could see where you can be, I don't know, extra protective of the work and be extra scrutinous of it. But I try to like reserve that sometimes because I myself try not to be too toxic when it comes to my critiques of stuff, because I have, personal connections to the work, right? So you got to kind of like, I don't know, try to stop yourself or like try to prevent yourself from doing that sometimes.
Right. Yeah, no, I agree with you 100%, man. And yeah, for someone that's been doing it long enough, you're absolutely right. There takes a level of creativity to go from 2D to 3D because you only have that front face image, and you have to figure out a way to do that. And if you can't do that, just ask ChatGPT. Yeah, they might be able to do it for you. They might be able to get that 3D image you've been asking for. But
funny guy.
Yeah, but that's pretty much it for today's show. I'd like to thank everybody that's watching right now. We got 16 people watching, so really appreciate it. I want to thank Roger for hanging out with me today. Marcos had some issues, had to leave, and he's still dealing with it. I'd like to thank everybody that joined the panel. We got, let's see, Michael Reyes. Let's Go Knight was in the house. Ledge is in the house. Let's keep going. I know Alan Kiefer was on a little bit. Juan Ortega, my boy, thank you for jumping in with us tonight and hanging out with us. We got Mike that was in the house. If he's still in or not. Walton, thank you very much. And I just want to thank everybody for jumping in the comments and putting out your opinions. It's very important that you guys put your opinions out and we have this chat. That's why we're able to have a good time and hang out.
Yes. Yeah, I can't tell you how much I enjoy the free form flow of the conversation and getting y'all's feedback and sharing feedback as well too, because having not just the input of like you guys, I consider everybody watching this like our contemporaries, but other collectors as well too. Other people that appreciate the same stuff that we do as well. So yeah, it's super fun for me to like have these kind of talks. So
love
awesome.
to have you guys
Again,
on here.
Thank you for having me on here, Will. Appreciate
Absolutely, man. You know you're welcome anytime. We had some exclusive on here as well. I just want to give a shout out to all the people that jumped on the chat. Stanley, Jimmy from Godlike. Make sure you subscribe to Godlike if you haven't yet. Let's keep going. I don't want to miss anybody. We had Hulk Smash. Thanks for jumping in on it. Hulk Smash is the one that sold me this piece, so I really appreciate that. We had Cypher House. Yeah, thanks Cypher for jumping in. Love the community coming in and chatting with us and jumping on the stream here. Let me go through. I don't want to miss anything.
Also, Jimmy, again, congrats to the 25K, dude.
25,000, man. Godlike Studios, 25,000 for those that haven't yet. Please do subscribe to our good friend Jimmy out there. And yeah, that's it. So if you guys did enjoy this stream, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like, that notification bell for our next potential live unboxing. If not, just statue chat, just having a good time, hanging out with everybody on this Saturday evening. And yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate it, and we will catch you next time. Peace.
Take care. Also, hope everything's okay, Marcus.
Yep.